Sorry. Ah, how y'all doing? How y'all feeling? It is Black Tuesday. In the stock market, it is Black Tuesday. The S&P 500 is down a whole 1%. It might be the nastiest day we've ever seen. No, in all seriousness, it's not great today. The market's pretty ugly. Things don't look great. The Kospi was limit down 10% in its last trading session, and things look a little bit gnarly right now. I'm not gonna lie. AMC came out and fucking rugged me. Straight fucking rugged me, which is unbelievable. I still hold it, but I have a lot to say about the movie industry today. I'm just gonna say that much. No surprise the CEO didn't want to come on stream a week ago. I can only wonder why that didn't happen. Kospi limit down. Meta announced new glasses, and they're also working on a prediction market. I don't know the last time they've had an original, fresh idea in a long time. Waymo was banned in New York City. Trump's pumping quantum. We have a bunch of mid IPOs. I have a whole section for the bear market. We have Cerebras earnings today in an hour, give or take. I kind of want to listen to the earnings call, but I was told from DNAP that we should absolutely not do that. Who cares about Cerebras, I think was the quote. I'm an IBM, which we'll talk about a little bit. Retracing a lot of gains there. Tomorrow is probably the biggest day in a while. Okay, tomorrow is probably the biggest day in a while. Right after market close, we're gonna have Micron earnings, which is kind of scary and a big deal. I sort of feels like a Punxsutawney Phil moment where it determines what's going to happen from here. Feels like Micron set up for failure a little bit, to be honest with you. It either beats, it either doesn't beat, or it beats and doesn't beat by enough. Like, I don't know. It feels like it's in a tough spot. It's on 14% today on MU Micron Technology, and for the first time, Airmass is tweeting about selling. Crazy. I bought Micron yesterday, 1200 or something, and on that Anthropic news, and I held it up 15%, and then it started dumping, and I just put a stop loss in my entry. I was like, I don't want anything to do with this, and so I got out. Timing was weird around earnings, and I didn't really want to sit in it because I had no real thesis other than, oh, this announcement might give it some momentum. So we have not had any crazy special situation type of trades. It's really the only positions I want to enter right now. I don't know. It's tough. Like you don't have a ton of exposure, or you start paying attention to these names late. Like, I feel like we, all things considered, have done an impressive job on the coverage of stocks, but I was pretty just crypto pilled. It was hard to switch my brain over. And then I got over really late, and then it's difficult to buy a ton of spot when you come over late. And so I found myself just taking these short-term trades. And this week, so far at least, I've canned the board trades. Or when I did can them, or when I did do them, I stopped it at BE. So I found a lot of enjoyment out of those recently. But yeah, the market's a little bit scary. I mean, it feels like we actually talked about this last Friday, but every day is like a 1% move on the S&P. Every day is 1%. It's like the best day ever or the worst day ever every single day, which is really fun if you like volatility. It's not fun if you were like a long-term investor because things are getting a little bit crazy. But I'll tell you what, even though I'm not making the most money of my career in this market, I am really in a bear market. Threadguy is 112 on live. Brother, you have no idea where we used to be. 5 minutes into stream, we're lit. You have absolutely no idea where we've come from, my friend. Prison SPF. No clue. So I'm not making the most money I've made in my career, but I definitely am having the most fun covering it. There's just so much going on. We do have a war and oil segment, except it's no longer about Iran. It's about Cuba now is on the I don't think we're ever going to be done with war and oil. I have to tell you. I genuinely do not think we are ever going to be done with war and oil. We have some all-in stuff. We have a lot of stocks. We have Arthur Hayes' fund just posted a thesis on cards. which is crazy. Absolutely crazy. And yeah, man, there's a million things going on. There's a million things to cover. I'm fucking enjoying it. We have market close in 70 minutes, which we'll flow right into. And let's fucking get it. Start off with a roll call, baby. Simp, what's good? Kevin, what's good? D-Nap, what's good? Wavy, what's good? Jackson, what's good? Villa, what's good? Tingle, Live the Life, Pipe Bomb, Shrek, Hidden Character, Yo, Caleb, what's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Rectal, what's good? Mickley, what's good? Tweeba, Big, Screwy, what's good? Pudgy, what's good? Teo, Codex, Alex, what's good? Kira, Henry, Crown, Fersh, what's good? Caleb, what's good? Doan, what's good? Wolfie, Crown Santa, what is good? What is good? What is good? What is good? Rug, what's good? Prison SBF, welcome to the fucking stream. If you are watching on YouTube or Twitter and you would like to chat, that would be twitch.tv/threadguy. It's the only chat that I read. It's the only chat that I can read. Everything else doesn't feel good. It's slow. It's clunky. The UIs suck. And I want to buy as much time as possible before I start ranting about AMC because I'm going to get kind of fucking pissed off. So I will actually start with this take. I fixed my open claw. I don't know, 10 days ago. Chat, you still use OpenClaw? I fixed my OpenClaw like 10 days ago. And I started using it again. And baby, what's good? Maybe 2 weeks ago. How long? 2 weeks ago? Oh, less. 5 days ago. I fixed my OpenClaw. And man, my life is just better with OpenClaw, I think. I think my life is just better with OpenClaw. Don't know what else to say. You know what I realized is that normal day-to-day life, you walk through with like infinite questions, curiosities. What is that? What is this? What does that thing do? What does this mean? And you never get answers to them because to Google is a little bit difficult. The lift is like a little bit difficult and you don't get your answer like quick enough. I don't get IG real dopamine, TikTok dopamine fast enough on my answers. And so I end up just not ever knowing the answer to the question. But the OpenClaw is it's just fast. GPT, especially instant GPT, is so fast that I found myself using it a lot more, and it's just really good. It just is really good, and it's not really good in a you're gonna lose your job and this thing is gonna like one-shot the world type of way. But it's more so like really good in a like thanks, that was convenient type of way. I think it is a significant life improver. It's a significant life improver. It really is. And I think, I don't know, the one thing that I really believe too is that the general consensus of the public seems to be that AI is a one-shot, no-skill death machine. And it might be a one-shot death machine, but it's definitely not a no-skill machine. It's definitely not a no-skill machine at all. It is not no skill. Like when I put no effort in versus putting effort in, the answers differ wildly. They differ wildly. Socks mode, yeah, I know. Differs wildly. And so now all I can think about is I want to run in with Fable, man. I never got to use it. It's so brutal that I never got to use it. I yearn for something I never had. The public is grossly misinformed regarding AI. I agree. But it's the lab's faults. It's Dario's fault, you know? It's Sam's fault. It just is. It's like you can't expect them to just get informed. I remember when I first got into crypto in 2021, I had this idea that the future of capital markets will run on Ethereum and everybody will have their money in a MetaMask. And the future of all founders is a DAO and everyone will vote on everything. And if you can't figure out how to use MetaMask and how to store a seed phrase, then you're going to get left behind. That's actually not how it works at all. It's the complete other way. And you have to meet everybody else where they're at. They are not going to meet you where you're at. And so you can't go around with these sensationalized, scary takes about how it's going to destroy the world and then expect people to do the research and do the work and then come to their own conclusion, because nobody does the research or the work for anything and nobody comes to the conclusion. And the 1% of the world that does their own research and does the work and comes to their own conclusion run the world. This is the take, is like agency runs the world. The 1% of people that come to their own conclusion are like in charge. They're not the smartest. They're not the most talented, but they are in charge. If you spend 10 minutes a day trying to learn something about anything, you are just you like run the world. It's actually that simple. And this is what I thought. I'm like, yeah, grandma's gonna have to learn how to use a fucking MetaMask or she's gonna get left behind. And actually, MetaMask is gonna have to learn how to get to grandma or it's gonna be worthless. It's gonna raise it down round and it's gonna go to zero. It's gonna go to zero. And so what I think as a result is I think this is how the corporate stack works right now. Is entry-level employees are frantically trying to figure out how to incorporate AI into their jobs because their bosses are demanding that they do it and threatening they get fired. And the reason their bosses are demanding the entry levels incorporate AI and threatening to fire them is because their bosses are telling them you need to figure out how to incorporate, agentic workflows into the work stack. And the reason that they're doing it is because their boss, who runs is C-suite at the company, is looking over at every other public company saying, if we're going to get our fucking share price up, we need to pull an Allbirds or a Block or we got to announce AI layoffs, or we got to announce a partnership with a Neo Cloud, or we got to announce an AI workflow or an AI product or something. And everyone in the entire stack is freaking out about it because nobody has an ability to actually sit down and try to learn how to use any of this stuff. Because if you did, I think you would realize it's not a one-shot death machine. Like, it isn't going to destroy the world. At least not right now. It might. Totally might. But it's definitely not right now. It's nowhere near that ability right now. But everyone is being forced to, like, being screamed at to figure out what to do with it. And there's no, like, guidance. This is what I pick up from my IRL friends. Is everyone's like, AI. But everyone's like, what the fuck? No one has any idea. I mean, I don't have any idea. What I did, I talk to OpenClaw every once in a while. And that basically is what it is. So, yeah. I also will try. Has anyone here tried GLM 5.2? ZPoo, it got crushed. Got absolutely crushed. Yeah, I think the most destructive aspect of AI is everyone being, like, forcing everyone to learn how to use it, or else you're going to be fired. But no one has any idea. There's also all this firing going on that is not. I think there's a lot of bloat at some of these companies from the ZERP era or whatever it is. And they got to get rid of people, and they got to get rid of them fast. And you kind of have an out to say it's AI at this stage. Oh, this is actually a really good tweet, by the way. This is definitely happening. Like, I've heard people say this to me, like, yeah, we're fucking laying people off and we're just telling them it's AI. I've heard this is like a narrative people are doing. We're laying people off and we're telling them it's AI because, like, it's a freebie. It's a freebie. It's also like, I don't know, whatever. Different take. I did see this. This is an interesting thought as well, which is like taking a page out of the crypto landscape. If ZPoo is open weight, how does it accrue value back to the ticker? Interesting thought. We should maybe do a whole segment on this. This is part of the reason that people have completely avoided these Chinese tickers. It's like, yeah, good question. It's like, what rights do you have as a shareholder? What do you get as a holder? I don't know. Nobody really knows. Very crypto adjacent for this open source software. I don't know. Yeah, thankfully they didn't go into crazy debt. The bubble is smaller, but this is one of those questions that you'd rather not ask. TG, nice trade yesterday on Micron. Yeah, man. Thanks. I was up a decent amount on I bought on the Anthropic news. I wrote it up and then it just turned and I had to stop at my entry. I'm telling you, man, this is like a rewiring of my brain. I'm really trying to do this, that the best traders I know don't lose money. The best traders I know do not lose money. And my biggest problem is I lose a lot of money because I have good ideas that I'm unwilling to let go. Like, I'm unwilling to let them go, and then I round trip to green into red. This is what you learn as a poker player too, right? The best poker players, they find the fucking fold. This is our next This is our next fix in our game. The next blade sharpening is losing money. I want to stop losing money. I want to stop losing money because ideas are incredible, but taking profit is really rough. Proof of work. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. I don't know. Like a lot of Paul Tudor Jones, all these guys, they always talk about when they enter a trade, they think about how much they could lose and how much they could make. And I think about that and I'm like, you fucking pussy. But in reality, going for the Euro trade is where I've lost the most. It's where I got jaded the hardest from Goat Coin. Taught to me way early. So yeah, the diamond hand BS. The one thing that crypto taught me, my biggest lesson I've ever learned from crypto, is to believe in nothing. To believe in nothing. Believe in nothing. Never trust anything. Don't believe in a founder. Don't believe in a community. Don't believe in technology. Believe in nothing. And it's kind of cynical, and it will cap your gains. But I think of it like you can only really believe in something if you're early enough. If you're early enough. After that, it comes back to fucking bite you, man. It does. So anyways, we got a lot to get into today. Always be selling. We're to flood. We have a lot to get into today. I have a bunch of mini topics before market close. I'm about to go off on AMC, but I'm not going to do it just quite yet. Let me knock a couple things off the list. And the first thing I want to knock off the list is the anti-AI rhetoric is accelerating. It's accelerating. And it's a topic I bring up every day now. And we're going to continue to bring up every day, which is that we live in a bubble. And in order to make money and position ourselves within this bubble, we have to understand the bubble that we're in, at least enough. Okay. And the bubble is everyone is suffering except asset holders, but like 1% of the world holds all the assets. And so 99% of the population is suffering and they're terrified of what's coming. That's a deadly combo. Scared and in pain is a deadly duo. Scared and in pain is rough because you're scared and you feel like you have nothing to lose because you hold no assets and you don't have that much to retain. And so it feels, where are we? We're fortunately in the bubble. Fortunately or unfortunately, depends where you want to sit. We're in the bubble. But 2028 election is going to be a knife fight for Republican and Democrat primaries amongst themselves and against each other as to who can be more anti-AI. Who will promise to shut more things down? Who will be more anti-AI? Who will go against this harder? Who will like ban more stuff? Who will promise more to the crowd? And so I'm gonna read a headline, then I have a video. I was supposed to do intro stuff today. Did we just skip it all? Nike dropped something cool. I like these. I'll buy these. Pretty tough. Square Force ones. These are hard. Anything else? No. Tucker Carlson announces he's leaving the Republican Party. Who cares? This is a good take. When people notice something cool, it probably stopped being cool 2 summers ago. Cool kids are never trying to be cool. That's what nobody understands. This is pretty cool. Thread, what would you do if Epstein came up to you and was like, join me? They're gonna shove Gavin Newsom so far, but everyone's that's gonna be hilarious. I know. I didn't believe you on this thread guy until Fable was banned. Yeah, I didn't either. So I saw this headline. It was crazy. I'd rather risk cancer than see AI move this fast. I'd benefit if AI cured cancer, and I still want AI progress to slow down. Unbelievable headline. And so what I see is like I see all these you know where a pretty good comment is, pretty good place to gauge sentiment and culture is Instagram comments. Instagram and TikTok comments. New to the stream, Rasmus sent me. Welcome, brother. I appreciate you coming. Instagram comments are a pretty good place to gauge where the world is at. And there is an abnormally large, overwhelmingly large percentage of the population that believes AI is like killing the environment. It's a crazy thought. But we're going back to this. Save the environment, use a Google search instead of ChatGPT. And so you'll really, if you really want to believe something, you'll cling to any possible narrative. And it's really bad. My wife for sure believes that. Yeah. Everyone really believes this. Like AOC with the water. at let's see. AOC data center water.
Assistant Administrator Kramer, you are in charge of the
What is this?
prepare meals, and nearby residents' water bills are expected to increase by 33. This is the current drinking water in Morgan County, Georgia.
I don't know. Is this true? Is anyone here live in Morgan County, Georgia?
Right after a data center.
I mean, you know what's crazy is that there was outrage over this water, and I don't look. I didn't pay that much attention to society for that long. So, but like I remember when like Flint, Michigan water looked like this for like 10 years, well before data centers weren't even a thing, and we were showing Flint, Michigan water. Remember this was like a huge deal. There was a comment I wanted to reply to and I missed it.
Was constructed. The metadata center was constructed. The only difference between the clean water and this was that data center.
I mean, that's just not true. I'm sorry. What? That only difference between crystal clean water and this is a data center.
A data center.
It's just a. I mean, it's a building. It isn't like it's not poison. You might not like what they're doing with it, but they're not. It's not poison. It's a building.
This is the current drinking water in Morgan County, Georgia. Right after a data center was constructed, the metadata center was constructed. The only difference between the clean water and this was that data center.
You know what's crazy though is if I really didn't fuck with AI, I'm totally believing this shit. Totally. If I really was anti-AI, I'm totally rocking with this. It's a pretty irrefutable narrative. I am fully rocking with this if I'm anti-AI. Like, yeah, hell yeah.
This is our cold water pressure in the kitchen. This is where I fill up water for storage. Those are the things we have to fill up to flush the toilets.
So you can see the sediment from the data center. Wow, and that's just from the water coming out of your faucet.
Yeah. And this is what's in all the pipes.
It's a year old.
Just the well itself.
Yeah. All I know is it's getting bad. And I will tell you this. I have family in Virginia, data center state of the capital of the world, and they do have to deal with subsidies on energy costs. This should be dealt with. This is an actual problem. Everything's more electricity bills, oil, gas, everything is up, expensive. That they have to deal with. I live in Georgia. Some of my friends actually get bad water because of this. Damn. Can you go do like record a little study for me and tell me how much of this is true? I'm in Tyson's. My water pretty chill. I live close to Tyson. Is it expensive though? Is it expensive? So anyways, if you don't believe me on the rhetoric, it's picking up. We're close to elections-ish. Go do a little study. Ask a few people in Georgia. And I know, send Citrini analyst number 3 to Georgia and have him drink from tap water in every county because we actually have to know what's going on. So this just came out. Theo Vaughn, who I generally like. By the way, Theo Vaughn, let me start before I listen to his anti-AI rant. These people are plants, okay? Theo Vaughn is going to go on a rant and be the face of fuck AI. But anytime some mainstream tech guy wants to like get clout, they go on the Theo Vaughn podcast. Sam Altman went on the podcast. Mark Zuckerberg went on the podcast. Anytime somebody wants some like motion, they're like, hell yeah, come on this past weekend with Theo Vaughn. And so it's a little bit contradictory, but whatever. Not the point.
We don't want any data, bro. Nobody wants a data center, dude. Nobody wants it. And the people that want them, to me, bro, they seem kind of evil. It's like, what's going to happen? Today, screwed up.
I'm just saying, right?
One thing that AI feels like to me, it's a fast forward button on tech.
I'm just saying. But
you know, you fall down and you get a bunch of loose data flies out of the factory or something now, and your kid's got, He's got 5 episodes of Dutton Ranch or whatever stuck in his neck or something. It's gotten crazy. We don't want it. Nobody wants the shit. And so here's what I think. I really believe this. I think I really believe it. I don't know, but I believed it yesterday. I believe that some people know how to live forever. They've cracked the code. And so suddenly they have to put the rest of us, they have to lock us down. They have to. Because if everybody finds out about it, then everybody.
What the fuck is he talking about?
Everybody's going to be able to do it, right? There's got to be some people have to have to separate themselves. And I think this is how they're doing it. They're creating these data centers. It's all, I think, going to be, I believe, this is my hypothesis, theory, that it's all going to be locked in with these flock cameras or some company like this, Palantir. One of these companies going to be owning all of this information.
You pull me in, though, with the flock cameras. You do pull me in with the flock cameras. You know I go nuts about the flock cameras. You know I get a little schizo about the flock cameras.
They're going to put it all in. It's all going to be, we're all going to be locked down. Everybody, you're not going to be able to live or do anything that feels human, right? There's going to be.
He's actually making a good point, but it has nothing to do with data centers. Like the 3 things he just said have absolutely zero through line. The flock cameras, the data centers, and living forever are like, he's just like saying buzzwords.
Come this kind of score, this sort of like social and even emotional sort of credit score. And then AI is going to become, it won't ever really, but it's going to try to become like our new God, right? Because I think people go to God for their feelings, for help.
Yeah, I mean, he's just saying buzzwords. I don't know. 1984 buzzwords.
Or hope, right? They lay their faults at the feet of Jesus for hope, right? And you're going to have to like appease somehow. You're going to have to do well enough for the data center to grant you whatever you then need, right? We don't want.
The problem with conspiracy theories is that the people that are smart enough to actually orchestrate, anyone smart enough to orchestrate the conspiracy theory is like not spewing it. And so the only people that are actually pushing them are like a little bit fried. But he does make a singular point, okay? And someone, Rectal in the chat is talking about destruction of flock cameras. I've seen this as well. People like posting videos of them kicking these things and breaking them, sawing them down and destroying. Have you seen anyone destroy a flock camera? And I just saw this came out. And it's kind of a big deal, which is Waymo's been defeated by New York City. New York City's not having it. It happened 2 days ago. It's not exactly straightforward to navigate New York City by car. Manhattan in particular. Waymo is running into a major political roadblock that are preventing it from rolling out in the Big Apple. Opposition from local politicians, labor unions, and an influential and powerful taxi lobby is stopping the company in its tracks. Even the New York governor, who opened the doors to Waymo across the state, excluding New York City, was forced to rescind her offer. So they allowed Waymo to come in. They said no New York City, and they took it back. In the end, the state walked away from its proposal to allow self-driving taxis, including Waymo's fleet earlier this year. Newly elected NYC Mayor Zohran Mamdani indicated he was on the side of taxi drivers when it came to setting new rules for autonomous ride-hailing services. Our strategy remains the same. Waymo head of global policy Justin Kintz told the New York Times. And so this did happen with taxi unions when Uber launched. This did happen. This is a very good callback, and you are correct in saying that this did happen. However, there's something different about human versus human versus robot. And like if you're Zohran Mamdani, you need as many votes. You want as much positive approval rate as you can get. And so what is like you're gonna take the easy wins, right? Like Trump had a very easy win. Let's go fucking say I'm the Bitcoin president. Cool. Got all the crypto rich guys. That was easy. Took no effort. You didn't have to offend anyone. You didn't piss anyone off. It's like a free vote where you don't have to offend anyone. And this is an example of that. Anti-AI, anti-robot. It's a free vote and free support that you don't lose. You don't have to offend anyone in the process. They're freebies. Like, why would you die on the hill of pro waymo? The only people you piss off are like a couple thousand people in San Francisco. And what I think Silicon Valley is understating here when we talk about AI taking over the world and robot eating the world is the pushback from the humans. Because in reality, it's like 99.9% of the population versus like 0.1. It's like a couple thousand, 10,000 nerds in San Francisco, like building these robots. And then it's like the rest of the world that has no upside, no benefits, and fucking hates them. And so I don't know if you've ever seen this, but they had Waymos everywhere in LA. And in LA, people fuck these things up, dude. They burn them, they break them, they kick them, they smash them. They destroy these things in LA. They fuck these things up. They really fuck these things up in LA. They also have the Coco food delivery robots, which are a complete joke, by the way. The worst, most disastrous, awful atrocity of technology that's ever been created. I mean, they're so hilariously, pathetically useless. It's a disgrace. It is an utter disgrace. The company should be in zero. The few times I had a Coco robot delivering my food, I called Tender Greens and I said, I swear to you, I have probably spent $5,000 at your restaurant in the last year. If you do not walk down 3 blocks, take that thing out of the fucking robot, get it in the hand of a driver and a human and deliver it to me, I will never order from your godforsaken restaurant again. I make an oath. I will never. Get it out of the robot. Get it out. It's slow. It's a joke. They get hit by cars. They get stuck on stumps. It's awful. It's awful technology. But people destroy it. They kick them over. Like, they used to do this with Lime scooters even when it feels crazy to me. They used to do this with Lime scooters when I lived in Richmond, Virginia. There was this like movement, fuck the birds. They would spray paint it, fuck the birds, the bird scooters, fuck them birds. And anytime people would walk by a pack of bird scooters, because they would like line them up, they would fucking throw them and they would kick them and they would throw them in the street and they would just like destroy them, dude. And so I don't know what the trade is on this, but again, I said this when Fable got banned. Okay, there is a barbell going opposite ways. AI technology getting really good, and normal humans hating it a lot. It goes like this. I'm telling you, even the bird scooters, they used to say, fuck them birds, and they would throw them in the street. They would like throw them into cars. Dude, Richmond was nuts. You think New York is crazy? When I lived in Richmond, it was fucking nuts, bro. Also, flock cameras, they're called. Let me see if I can find this tweet. I can. Richmond's the new Brickell. Bro, you're such a ball knower. Arlington's the new Brickell. I love you, whoever just said that. No, guys, it's fine. Flock cameras only read license plates. It's just normal traffic control. Stop being so paranoid. Anyways, here is one on a bike path. People are fucking destroying these things, man. They really are. Destroying block camera. Real quick.
This is what the flock cameras look like. They read license plates and
also, yeah, you're right. Shady stuff does happen on bike paths. Also, I'm just going to say it. I've never seen a flock camera.
are used largely to identify stolen vehicles.
They're just there in order to help with our investigative leads.
Auburn normally has 12 in the city. Now they're down 2.
Based on our research so far, it looks like it was on April 26th.
That's when Sergeant Joe Almeida says the 2 cameras on Nevada Street and Marguerite Mine Road near Highway 49 were stolen.
Am I the only one that wouldn't mind a surveillance state? No. They're doing it. Here's the last thing I'll say and we'll move on. They're everywhere near you. What is this? Oh. Wait, let's watch this real quick.
right now. I see you, Peter Thiel. Okay, it's someone else's property.
Fuck my life. What did I just do?
These flock cameras right now. I see you, Peter Thiel. Okay, it's someone else's property. And if you destroy another flock camera,
they're really
I
destroying
might just send you $50 to go fix it and put it back up. You gotta stop doing that. If you keep doing that,
Oh, they're really
I'm
destroying
gonna be
it.
real upset. Y'all definitely should not comment "fuck flock" for "fuck flock" stickers. We're definitely not printing them
Oh my god, this is 100,000 likes.
inside of my fucking school bus in the middle of nowhere. Don't do it.
All right, last thing, I'm gonna move on. Do you remember when Cybertrucks came out and people were popping windows and scratching them and kicking them in, and then Elon started putting people on the chair? I mean, they were like putting people on the electric chair for the Cybertruck stuff. I mean, they were bopping people, bro. 50 years, 25 years. There was they were jail for vandalizing Cybertruck. Yeah, they were sending people to fucking jail for touching these cars. And you know why it calmed down? Because they started throwing people in like federal prison. They're like, "Oh, word, you want to touch a Cybertruck? We're putting you in with JE." They were throwing him in with Nicolas Maduro. If you got a fingerprint on when they're throwing you in Maduro in the slammer, all of a sudden people don't vandalize Cybertrucks anymore. So I don't know. I spent way too much time on this topic, but I'm a little bit schizo about it because I think it's getting crazy. It's getting a little bit scary, man. You could feel it like festering. You know, you could really feel it fucking like getting a little dodgy, you know. You could feel it start to fucking, you know. Anyways, if you're watching on YouTube or Twitter and you would like to chat, twitch.tv/threadguy, and let's talk about how AMC fucked up my trade of the year. Fucked up my trade of the year. These fucking idiots, man. Idiots, man. Okay, AMC finally goes up for the first time in like multiple years. I mean, this is what the AMC chart looks like. These fucking idiots, man. Absolute idiots. Here's the AMC daily if you're wondering what this looks like. There you go. It's been in like look at this. I can't even draw it. Just down only. The most steep down only down curve I've ever seen. And so they just made an announcement that they are going, by the way, immediately after a $150 million dilution, it's a stock that's worth $1.3 billion. It was worth $2 billion yesterday. Immediately after concluding a $150 million dilution, they just came out again and they announced that AMC Entertainment Holdings announces pricing of $200 million registered direct offering of common stock. AMC announced today it has entered into a definitive agreement with certain institutional investors for the purchase and sale of an aggregate 95,250,000 shares of AMC common stock. The offering is expected to result in gross proceeds of approximately $200 million before deducting agent fees and offering expenses. AMC intends to use the net proceeds from the offering to redeem all of its $125 million aggregate principal amount of 6.125 senior subordinate notes due 2027. Pay related fees, costs, premiums, and expenses associated therewith and for general corporate purposes, which may include the repayment of other debt, the strengthening of AMC's cash reserves, and investments to enhance the movie-going experience at AMC theaters. The offering is expected to close on June 24th, 2026. And subject to customary closing conditions. Roth Capital Partners is acting as a sole placement agent for the offering. AMC daily on the news is down 20%. in a straight green line. I mean, they're fucking idiots. I don't know what to say. It's very frustrating because, okay, everyone's gonna be in the comments like, oh, that's why you don't buy a Shitco. No. I I recognize an incredible setup. Okay, there's obviously this vibe shift of IRL is cool again. Everyone wants to do IRL, and people will say, "Oh, well, you just moved to New York." Da da da. No. IRL was dead for like 4 years after COVID, maybe even more. People are just now have fully adjusted and are getting back into the swing. IRL was dead the same way being hot was dead. It was not a thing. You couldn't do IRL. You couldn't. There was like 4 years in the Lizzo era. I talked about this yesterday, where you were not allowed to be hot. It was like a sin to be hot. It was a shame to be hot. It was like it was sinful. It was shameful. It was like bad to your surname if you were attractive. Okay, it was wrong. It was like fundamentally wrong under the gods to be hot. In the same vein, you couldn't go. No one did anything IRL. There was nothing to do. You couldn't do anything IRL. There's been a major vibe shift. I talked about this yesterday. I think movies are really well positioned because everybody wants to go back outside and do things IRL, but Zoomers don't want to drink, and so there's not that many activities you can do in person that don't require drinking. Movies are one of them, okay? And so fun as a concept, it works. And so I'm thinking through what is the best way to express my long IRL, short drinking, yada, yada, yada thesis. Well, movies seem like a really good one. It's an interesting one. But you look at AMC and you're like, yeah, it's kind of a terrible business. Movies are dead. Well, actually, movies seem to be entering this Renaissance type era. First of all, you have a LeBron-like figure in Timothée Chalamet who is cranking out movies. He does Marty Supreme on Christmas Day. It's a smash hit. Immediately after, he's done The Odyssey, Christopher Nolan, who's back, which launches in July. Then Toy Story comes out, and they have their best opening in franchise history in 2026, which is almost hard to believe. Okay, at the same time, you have this renaissance of new Hollywood or new internet pushing out old Hollywood. And you have these YouTubers, these YouTube directors putting together these movies for super cheap and going parabolic at the theater. Obsession beat every week in sales, like 4 weeks in a row. It's like one of the best horror movies ever. And Backrooms at the exact same time had the same level of performance for ridiculously cheap. And it's a new era, right? Where they realize, yeah, out with old Hollywood, out with like big IP franchise. We're done with Star Wars. In the new era, the internet era, Zoomers run by Zoomers that can do this for cheap because they grew up making YouTube videos and they know how to do it best. And so you get the like this mashing of all of these eras together, condensed in this pop of like Obsession and Toy Story and Spider-Man's coming. And the Odyssey is coming, and old Hollywood is crushing, and new Hollywood with the YouTubers are popping. And it's like this like mashing of eras and ideas all at the same time. And there's like two ways to express it. There's IMAX and there's AMC. And every movie you see is at AMC theaters. And yes, you can see things in IMAX, but every movie you see is in AMC. You go to AMC theaters, that's where you go. And so at the same time, Google comes out and they're like, all right, fuck it, A24. Here's $75 million. We're going to invest in you. A24 makes every movie. It's like this beautiful mashing of eras. And I look at it and I'm like, yeah, I'm long that shit. Absolutely. What are the fundamentals? I don't care. What is the revenue? I don't care. Are they profitable? I don't know. I don't care. What I do know is Obsession is taking over the world and I need to be long. And so I longed. And to me, it was one of the cleanest trades I've taken in a while. Put that thing on spot, entered at 196. And we ripped it. And then at the same time, as I'm talking about this idea and this thesis, everyone everywhere is like, IRL is back. Gary V's on TBPN talking about, I'm early to every trend and like analog is back, IRL is back. At the same time, the Knicks win the finals and everyone's like IRL. Like it just like happened in this beautiful, I'm going to make a lot of fucking money on this trade. And then in back-to-back moments, AMC comes out and they're like, we're finally up. Let's add 15% of supply. Let's add 15%. Let's dilute by 15%. Stop call. And I don't know what you're supposed to do about that. Really. What are you supposed to do about that? I don't know. is I'm new to trading stocks. Forgive me for my naivety, but I did not price in the dev waking up after a long night of doing bag and a rough sleep and say, you know what, I would like some more money. Let's add 15% of supply right now. It's unbelievable. It's actually crazy. And then I sat back and I looked at other stocks and I realized, wow, everybody just does this. They just do this in stocks. It's insane. And so I made a tweet complaining about it. And then somebody hit me with this snarky reply and was like, something, like, maybe you should buy crypto tokens. Like, they can never add more Bitcoin or Solana. And I said, actually, have you seen the Solana inflation emissions? They're actually doing it there too. And then I kind of just came to the conclusion of this is just the way the world works. They're just going to sell stocks to fund the business, and that's just what it is. There's nothing you can do about it. They do it in crypto, they do it in stocks. If in crypto they can't do it, they'll just launch a new token. And so, yeah, I could have been worse. I could have bought AMC at $200. I didn't. I also have just now, as we are speaking, learned about this AMC Ape stock. What is this? What is this? What is AMC Ape? Ape was a special class of preferred equity units issued by AMC Entertainment, launched on the New York Stock Exchange in August 2022 under the ticker APE. Each unit was designed to have the same voting and economic rights as a common share of AMC stock. What? Let's see. I wonder what it looks like on Ape. I don't even know how to search it. How do you even search it? Ape AMC stock. Oh, it's delisted, I suppose. It's delisted? It's not on TradingView? Wait. Super simply explain what is AMC Ape from 2022. They needed cash, but shareholders are already pushed back on issuing more AMC common stock. So CEO Adam Aron created a new security called Ape. AMC gave shareholders one Ape unit for every one AMC they owned. It gave AMC a way to sell more equity and raise cash. In August 23, it was converted back to AMC stock. They also did a 10-for-1 reverse split. Was it a major failure or... No, they converted it back into AMC, it seems. Yes, it was a major failure. But for AMC company, it kind of worked. This is the problem. This is also the problem with crypto. Many crypto tokens. Is this answer right here? This is one of the biggest problems, I think, with stocks. With all speculating. For shareholders, it was a major failure. For yes, for shareholders, it was a major failure. But for AMC, the company, it worked. That's the brutal. They wanted to figure out a way to raise cash without getting blocked by shareholders. Shareholders were blocking dilution. They're like, fuck it, we're going to issue something new. Yeah. But then it's like, all right, you have cash and everyone thinks you're... I'm trying to stop saying retarded. By the way, I'm really trying to stop saying retarded on stream because I do suits and shit now. So you have cash and everyone thinks you're an idiot. what do you gain from that? What do you gain from that? I don't know. But anyways, so we sit here and I'm watching this IRL thesis start to really play out. Like it, man, I feel like it's getting a lot of juice. Everyone's talking about it. Madison Square Garden's at all-time highs. Like, I would imagine the Sphere is at all-time highs. All this travel is back up. Like, a lot of these things are really starting to play out. You could feel it in social consensus on the IRL stuff, but I don't know what the trade is. We got to find it. I'm still in StubHub, but, you know, StubHub is a mess. I search. You search StubHub, I'm up 12%. You search StubHub, and it's like the only tweets are about how much of a scam it is. StubHub is going in the Mount first tweet after StubHub. StubHub is going in the Mount Rushmore of all-time companies getting dragged on X. It's so bad. First tweet. Every tweet about StubHub is like shitting on them so bad. And so this is, again, this is the thought. It's like the expression is half the trade. If you can't, the idea is half the trade. I mean, if you can't find the right expression, then it's just not going to work. Also, MSTR is 104. My God. My God. MNST? What is that? Monster Beverage Corporation. As an IRL long? Oh my God. That's nuts. I do want to watch this Gary V take though. I'll speed it up to close off IRL. I don't know. Somebody here go do some research and find me a trade and let's slam it, man. Cruise lines, I hate cruise lines. I believe that cruises are fundamentally a pre-COVID thing. Cruise lines will never hit an all-time high in attendance again. It's a pre-COVID phenomenon. It's one of these things that people will never be able to get back into. I don't believe it. I don't believe people will ever be able to get back into cruises. It's one of these things that you just has a stigma around it forever. It's going to be seen as like gross and like, it's going to be seen as gross, germy, sick. I don't think cruises will ever have their day again. Ever. It's over. The whole cruise thing is completely finished. It's going to be seen as like low class and gross. COVID cruise, hantavirus cruise, it's going to be seen as low class and gross, I think. I really do. Nobody will want to go. They won't be able to sell. They'll be selling the ships at cost. Carnival will be breaking the ships down into yachts. They'll be selling the cruise ships to Sam Altman as a yacht. It's over.
Right. And I also think that
It's over, man. You're not taking your girl on a cruise for a honeymoon? Really? Cruise? I've been on a cruise. It's one of the best trips of my life, but pre-COVID. It's like, you want to go get some new virus nobody's ever heard of because you took a cruise ship to like a third world country. It's not happening. No way. No way. No one's doing it anymore. I'm sorry.
Right. And I also think that we're about to see the explosion of analog, right? Like, I think this barbell that I keep thinking
totally. I've been thinking like, okay.
I was thinking it for anyone. First of all, I don't want to hear stop. Just stop. Everybody stop with the IRL. I was doing it before anyone.
We're about to see the explosion of analog, right? Like, I think this barbell that I keep thinking
totally. I've been thinking
totally.
like, okay, you want to start an apparel brand? You want to go on Instagram or TikTok and duke it out with like 10,000 other brands? Or why don't you?
The real place that's manifesting, by the way, is Instagram DMs. This is the real. No more story slide ups are over.
You like find somebody that has a retail store that they can't rent out and like do a deal with them and just try to get big in your hometown again, you know?
And my argument would be
yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah.
Like, to me, this like, I just extreme.
It's a Gary V reply.
Extreme AI, I think, is creating extreme analog. I really do think it's a barbell. I think in the next 10 years, obviously it's 2036, but I feel like it's going to feel like 2050, which actually is bringing the rise of 1950. I couldn't be more impressed with what Ari Emanuel and others are doing that are investing in all these.
I would like to invest in High Rocks. That's what I would like to do. How do I invest in High Rocks? That's what I would like to do. Niche CrossFit type of competition. Strava, maybe.
Analog businesses. I could not be more interested in physical retail, in event-driven businesses, in concerts and venues. And I think the rise of analog, I have a restaurant business, part of a restaurant group. I keep pushing my partners who are really operating. Let's open a restaurant that makes people check in their phone as soon as they walk in. Let's put people in group tables. I think there's, you see.
I would invest in that, by the way. Show up to the restaurant, they take your phone.
See what's happening with flip phones.
Yeah.
Gen Alpha buying them. We see vinyl sales. I've been very at the forefront of collectibles. I felt collectibles was something tangible and was a gateway drug to community. If you've never been to San Diego Comic-Con or the Sports Card National or Fanatics Fest. So I think there's a lot of interesting non-digital realities that are coming as a counter move to the insanity of AI advancements. We're literally within a half decade not believing a single video, not a single video.
We're already there.
That's on the internet. In 5 years, if we're having this interview right now, most of the audience is trying to figure out if we're real or not. That is very real and has real substantial counter opportunities. So, the photographer who's sad when they hear that, I'm like, no, you might actually crush in a different way. And so I'm curious to see what the counter scaled moves are going to be of the next decade. And I think for any real entrepreneur, they're not crying about AI killing them. They're curious about what AI at scale is going to create opportunity for them.
TBVN's daily newsletter has op-eds that are written by Jordy and I, in addition to top tech headlines and the timeline's best posts.
My whole life is about knowing everything about 13-year-olds.
Come on, man. Why would you send this, DNAP? Come on, dude. You know I'm gonna auto-click what you send.
But you're in the jungle with them. I have to watch from above.
Come on, man. Dude, come on. You cannot do that. Malcolm, come on, dude. You know I'm gonna auto-click whatever you send. On a real note, Gary is the truth. I know, I'm like, call HR. I am fucking HR. Gary is the truth. He is. I agree with this, right? Gary a slight grifter. I don't whatever. But this tracks alongside my idea that not being on your phone will start to be more highbrow, high-class signal in the coming years. Do you agree with that? Being off your phone will mean that you're high class because you're too rich to be on your phone. I think we could get there, but I love my phone. I love my phone. I love my phone. Also, I would love to invest in... I want to invest in High Rocks or Strava. What is the closest IRL comp? Conscious with no phone is peak. Dude, can I just tell you a story real quick? I was walking. You know how I knew IRL was back? I was walking to this restaurant. I was in New York, and I'm walking to this restaurant. It's kind of far. Thanks for this too comment. And I just hear in the background, don't you worry, child. And I'm like, see how it's got. And so I take a left and I start walking towards it. And then, don't you worry. And I keep walking, And I come across this majestic, it opens up to me through the, the clouds. And there's this majestic field. And there's this crowd of, brother, there's 5,000 people here. 5,000 people on some random Sunday in the afternoon, and there's this random DJ playing, and it's free, and they have free drinks, and it's insane. I'm walking around, and it's bro, I lived in LA. I lived in Richmond. I've been in cities, and it was brother, there's 5,000 people. 5,000 people. It was insane, singing every word. Nobody on their phones. No phones. Not that many phones. It was just pure, just like, And so I sat there, took a picture, and left. But man, it was glorious. All right, announcements. We have a couple announcements. First and foremost, Meta. You know we love our AI glasses. Has come out with 2 announcements. Meta's back to back today. Okay, first and foremost, they announced that they're launching their first smart glasses under their own brand. What is this? It better be good. It better be good. Wow, threadguy was early to this. We'll come back. We will come back. They're announcing their own glasses under their own brand. Below Ray-Bans pricing with $299 adventure and furry. Is that Fury or Furry models? $80 cheaper than the latest Ray-Ban Meta Wayfarer. So they're pretty cheap. They look good. And they're also going to be launching a $400 Kylie Jenner Starfire model. While this Essilor Luxiata, which is the company that owns Ray-Bans, I think Ray-Bans is like 12% of the revenue, will be manufacturing the glasses. And so I wondered, was this a short when I first saw it? The answer is no, because they're manufacturing. Then I wondered if Meta was a long, and the answer was no, because nobody really seems to care. But you know what is always a short? Never ask yourself the question, should I short sell Snapchat? The answer is yes. Because Snapchat on the announcement is down an additional 4% in a straight line on Snapchat. Also, Kylie Jenner's a pretty sick get. Not gonna lie. Like, Kylie Jenner's a big deal. I'm sorry. Kylie Jenner's a big deal. And it's a pretty sick ambassador. It's like Snapchat is Jimmy Butler. And what is this? Snapchat is in talks to pay Robert Downey Jr. $100 million to be an ambassador for Specs. That's just, that's disgusting. Pretty good ambassador, though, I'm not gonna lie. That's disgusting, though. Yeah, they announced a new AI glasses design in-house, signaling deeper push into the wearable technologies become a new front in the artificial intelligence race. How much do you think Kylie Jenner getting paid? Deep 8 figures. Definitely multiple 8 figures. So yeah, a lot of people are bull posting these glasses, and I am just unsure who the marginal user is for them. I could, you know what I could get behind is contacts. Contacts. If you had VR contacts or AR contacts that were snappy and they were good, I could get behind it. The glasses thing is weird and it's uncomfortable, and I'll tell you this as well. I do not like when people look at me with Meta glasses. I don't like being in pictures. I don't want to be on film. And when someone comes up to me and they have the glasses on, I feel noticeably uncomfortable. I don't want to be in your video. I don't want to know that I'm in your, I don't want to be in your recording. I really don't. Not because I'm somebody cool and famous. I just don't want to be in your recording. And you feel uncomfortable talking to somebody that has the glasses on. You just do. And so we added a couple things from Snap, which is, yeah, there needs to be a name for how incredibly useful something has to be to overcome how ridiculously goofy it looks. And so it's worth calling out that on the announcement that Meta's cheapening the price to $300 per pair, which I think is realistic for what you get. It's a good price. These are $2,200. They might not sell a single unit. And so I guess I'll move this over to the fuck Meta section. Okay, we'll move this. Hold on. Because they made another announcement today, Meta. Made 2. And twice they almost convinced me to buy. Who's the target market if not me? Young, cool 24-year-old who's into emerging tech and markets? How am I not the target audience? If it's not me, who is it? If I'm not the target market, who is? If I'm not the target market, there is no target market. Who is? What? Young, cool tech guy who only thinks cool-ish, who only talks about going IRL right now. Like, it's obviously I'm the target audience. Boomers, no way. No way. No fucking way. So Meta made another announcement today. And they are being directed by Zuckerberg, founder CEO, to create a prediction markets app. Mr. Zuckerberg, the chief executive of Meta, recently displayed a small team at his company, Dispatched, to create a smartphone app similar to Polymarket and Kalshi. 2 employees with knowledge of this matter said users would not wager money, and the app would probably rely on a video game-like points system instead. One person said that the company had not ruled out the eventual use of real money betting. You think this is going to be real money? I would imagine yes. The app is internally referred to as Arena and would function independently from Meta's social networking apps, which include Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Messenger, said the employees, who spoke on the condition of anonymity to discuss confidential plans. Meta aims to grow the app by leveraging its large social networking audiences and and directing them towards it, they said. So Meta had 2 announcements today. Price action is flat, completely flat. Had a nice little move in the morning on the glasses announcement, but it's completely flat. And I have a video from Ed Zitron, who we're going to hear from a couple times today, who's basically leading the bear market movement, and he hates it. So let's watch a couple minutes. I'm going to give you a few takes on Meta.
Who else is there? Who else needs it other than Mark Zuckerberg? Tell me about, I don't know. There are no real signs that this demand is coming either because, I don't know, who else is there? Who else needs it other than Mark Zuckerberg?
Tell me about Meta's AI strategy. When I say I don't understand it, I'm not trying to insult it, by way of being polite. I literally don't understand it. And, I asked Gemini about Meta's AI strategy, and other than, we're going to make our ads more effective, which of course, they literally, one of the things they said is a health application that's going to charge $7.99 per month. And that's not going to justify.
So one thing I like to, my advice I give basically anyone is never assume there's a plan. Like that's like Anthropic and OpenAI, people are like, well, they must have a plan. I don't think they do.
I like that. Never assume there's a plan. I like that.
I think they thought, which I don't like it, but I get it's like, let's throw as much money at this and it should work out. It didn't, but I see the strategy. With Meta, Mark Zuckerberg is a capricious man. He moves from idea to idea. He moved on from the metaverse. He changed the name of the company to Meta. And then a year later, it was like, 2 years later, it was like, mate, I'm going to do AI now. But the thing is, no one's really had much of an AI strategy. Google and Microsoft and Amazon kind of had an obvious one. Amazon build infrastructure, Microsoft build infrastructure and bolt AI services that people hate onto other products. Google, same deal. And Google had TPUs already. I think Google's probably the best positioned, if only because so much of their silicon is their own. Don't know if it's as good. But anyway, Meta, on the other hand, well, their first strategy was to buy as many H100s and H200s as they can find and then put them in data centers. Then they put them in their GEM model, their generative advertising model, which lots of people have tried to extrapolate to say, well, that means that Meta is using all these GPUs for ad targeting.
Mando.
Kind of, but not in a way that I think is drastically increasing profits. Because I don't know if it was, we're a year or 2 into this. They got all these bloody GPUs. Wouldn't their growth be astronomical? It wouldn't be. It would be like 50% year over year because the power of AI. What I think happens is they got incremental improvements out of there, like a couple percentage points here and there. There are various blogs about GEM that suggest that that's the case. But when you actually look at them, it's like, okay, they had a lift in engagement here and here. How does that actually, where's that end up on the cash flow statement? Like, where's the money from that? What I think happened was Mark Zuckerberg saw everyone else doing something and decided to do it too. He bought all the compute and he went, great, now we'll train our own model. And so they did actually something pretty cool, which is Llama, the open source model. They then realized, wait, crap, this is open source. We can't charge people for that. So they actually, the information report this last year, they went around the major hyperscalers being like, hey, can you give us money for Llama? And then the hyperscaler said, no, it's free.
This is the Chinese open source problem, by the way. This is the problem. We're acting like we don't have this problem right now.
You made this free. Why would we pay you for that? And so Meta spent $14 billion to bring in Alexander Wang, who then decided to do internal models which are an indeterminate level of good. I have heard from a source that they are doing, so they have this plan to do an open claw style thing.
Cool. I wanted to just get a little bit of Zuck hate out the way. And then I'll read you this, and then I want to give you a take. Micron should recover most of the loss today before close. Pattern is mega bullish, at least 1,500 after earnings. If you have a 20% pop after hours, maybe worth selling. Then we buy Meta all in Thursday or Friday. Now we have as much as 4x as much Meta as compared to before this trade. So people way smarter than me are bullish. I look at Mark Zuckerberg as a couch quarterback, and I think to myself that he suffers from the same problem that I have. Actually, me and Mark Zuckerberg are very similar. Unbelievable top tier, world class, irrefutable ideas, really bad execution. Just subpar execution on these ideas. And you look at it and you're like, okay, number one, Meta. First thing that they launched that gets crushed is they launched a stablecoin called Libra, I believe in 2018, 2019. It gets blocked by the US. They don't let it go through. Zuck gives up on stablecoins. Now Tether is, what's Tether worth? Tether's last valuation is like $400 billion. That's a huge miss. Swing and a miss. Fine, it happens. Next is they go all in on the metaverse. Honestly, correct. Good idea. Makes sense. Made sense. Will probably make sense again in the future. Timing, bad. Top tick. They never build anything real. They try to do this like VR stuff. Doesn't make a lot of sense. The only good thing that came out of it was the name Meta. I think it's a great rebrand from Facebook. It's much more than just Facebook. Great rebrand. But timing of it, bad. Idea, decent in theory. Timing of it, really bad. That's a miss again. Then they come out and the AI race is super competitive. It's not clear that everyone's going to be like this frontier lab yet. 2023, they released Llama 4, fully open source. I will never forget. I was with my good friend, especially at the time. I used to see him a lot more, Began. And he's this really talented AI developer. I'll never forget. I was with him when Llama 4 dropped. And he almost like started crying because he was so happy and grateful that they released open source model. It's like, oh my God, they're going to save AI. And they release it. It's not that good. They basically stop what they're doing. They realize the economics behind it kind of stink. They go, they buy Alexander Wang. They go all in this, like, I don't know, data labeling thing, spend billions and billions. They buy everybody in this race for super intelligence developers. And then it sort of fizzles out. And then 2 years later, ZPU, GLM 5.2, and Minimax, and DeepSeek, and all of these like open source models dominate. Meta's nowhere to be found. And you're like, idea, unbelievable execution. Like, what happened? What happened? It's like the third thing. Like, what? It's like these massive ideas. What happened? How? What? Where is it? They should be winning this. There should be no Minimax, GLM. There shouldn't be any. It should be Meta, and it's not. And it feels like it's a missed opportunity. And so it, I don't know. It's like thing after thing. The glasses are cool. They crush the glasses. Glasses are cool. But it feels like thing after thing after thing that you get the idea really right, but you execute it terribly. And it does start to wear on you because you start to like, I think you start to question yourself a little bit. You start to question yourself when you have like hit trade and you fucking when I bink SpaceX and then a round trip it for $75,000 and then I break even and I'm like, fuck. You question yourself a little bit as a trader. I would imagine it's no different as a founder. Great idea. You give up on it. You get blocked early. Then you see Tether go be worth $500 billion. And you're like, fuck my life. That was a miss. And so we'll see. But they launch in prediction markets. People that are way smarter than me really like Meta. I want to like it. It's like a cool brand. It's like fresh and it's like cool and it's like, I don't know. I think Meta's cool. Instagram continues to just be a behemoth, unstoppable. I don't use Facebook, but I would imagine they would be back at some point. And last one is Threads. Huge miss on Threads. That was a fucking miss. Threads was a huge miss. I forgot about that. That was a big miss on Threads. DNAP, you know how to do a poll? Let's just do a fucking litmus test. Chat, is Meta cool? Is Meta and Mark Zuckerberg cool? Yes or no? In 2026. In the modern era. I think you're wrong. Nobody? Dude, but he has the meat smoker. Dude, but he smokes meats. Come on.
Hey everyone, we are. Hey everyone, we are live from my backyard where I am smoking a brisket and some ribs. I'm making meats now. Smoking these meats here. Our little meat smoking. It's smoking. So I'm the meat chef. Yeah, someone asked me, do I smoke meat? Smoking meat, smoking these meats. Smoking meats earlier in the day. Smoking these meats, just set the charcoal up and you set the wood chips up, and then smoking meats, grilling meats, good smoke.
You know if someone has a meat smoker? Do you know how you know if someone smokes meats? They fucking tell you.
Flavor. Smoke a brisket for like 12 hours. You smoke lemon chicken, smoke salmon, you'll love it. Bison sirloin, ribs and sausage. So I'm looking forward to that. Today we got a brisket on the big guy and some pork.
What is this from? This is all from like a live stream. What is this from?
Pork ribs on the green egg.
Why does eyes look like that?
Meat like a brisket. I got ribs in there. Finishing off the brisket and the ribs. And I'm just sitting in our backyard, finishing off this brisket and these ribs. But hopefully for Canadian Thanksgiving, you get to eat a lot of brisket and ribs. How many of you guys are eating brisket and ribs tonight? Brisket and...
Dude, this is insane.
And ribs. They taste doubly better when you hunted the animal yourself.
Stop. You did not kill a fucking bison, man.
So, what are you guys making for dinner? Brisket and ribs, I hope. Delicious. Brisket and ribs. The ribs and the brisket need to be eaten. I want to try your brisket. I want to try my brisket. It's a pretty tough cut of meat. The ribs and the brisket. Are you excited to have...
Dude, this is driving me fucking crazy. I
have a rib tonight? I want my baby back ribs. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce. That is going...
This is the longest 2-minute video I've ever watched.
On the ribs. Sweet Baby Ray's. Sweet Baby Ray's. The Sweet Baby Ray's. Sweet Baby Ray's is very good. Sweet Baby Ray's. Sweet Baby Ray's. We have just applied the Sweet Baby Ray's. Sweet Baby Ray's. Sweet Baby Ray's. Maybe throw some Sweet Baby Ray's on the ribs and take it from there. She's waiting for her ribs. I mean, she knows what's coming, and Sweet Baby Ray's. So that's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I couldn't help myself with that. Damn, I've called Mark Zuckerberg cool like 5 different occasions over the last 2 weeks. I've called him cool like a lot recently. Okay. I didn't get through any of the topics I needed to get through. I had like a lot of topics to get through, and it's a very special time now in the day. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna get up really quick. I'll be back in 30 seconds. Wow, I want to watch this.
From the Independent News, this.
Dude, look what I just got on my YouTube feed. Mythical poll. The 1987 stock market crash original news report. Fuck, I want to watch that. Oh, can we watch that? All right. water and the water pressure was fucking a joke. It better not be one of those fucking data centers. Are they doing this in New York? It better not be one of those goddamn fucking data centers. I swear, man. It better not be one of those fucking data centers, dude. If they're doing, it better not be. The water pressure was a joke. It took me 30 seconds to fill this thing up. It better not be those goddamn data centers, man. Ah! Do it with me. Hey, wait, real quick, before we do anything. Do you drink tap water? A lot. What is the last time you smoked a meat? All right! Do it! It's time right now. It's Mark. You already know what I want to know. What are you buying? What are you selling? What did you make money on? What did you lose money on? What do you like? What do you hate? What are you interested in? What are you not interested in? What do you want me to look at? What do you not want me to look at? We have a lot of segments that I skipped. And so I'm going to probably have to cover them in the meantime. While we're going over stream, I'm going to go over the segments at the exact same time that are relevant to the tickers that we go over on the stream. What do you like? What do you like? What do you like? What do you like? Hype. Short MSTR, long ETH. Long ETH. What do you got? 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 Apu frog meme. Come on, man. This bullshit. Looking for a SanDisk long or Micron long ETH. Why is everyone long ETH? What the fuck? Got fucking donged on my DRAM and Micron. Liquidated on 20x DRAM long overnight. You can't go to sleep up 20x long. Come on, brother. Cards, averaging into Nebius. People are long ETH, apparently. AIS, ETF, and 20K and take two. Nice. Cards, nice. We'll read the thesis. Sanrio. Are you actually? In cards, BP, Met, re-entering hype soon. What else? What else? What else? Vitalik gonna save us. Wow, Sanrio. Okay, spot. Long AR. I can't figure out if the Bubble Boy Sanrio thing was a joke or not. I'm unsure. Tesla, long or short? What is actually I have a question. Public meat smoking company. Long Micron still. What is the best stock expression of meat smokers? Long Micron. Earnings tomorrow is scary. Cook. The best pellet smoker company. How does it trade? Ticker Cook. Wow. Ooh. Not great at all. Smokers are out. Blackstones are in. What about Blackstone companies? I've never used a smoker before. Blackstone products. Huh. Who knew? Blackstone. All right. Anyways, it was a dark day. It was a dark day in the markets today. Oh my lord, it was. The SPX comes in down 1.44%, 7,365. That double top is starting to look a little bit scary. We have to take Kevin Warsh seriously again. It is starting to look a little bit scary. Now, NASDAQ 100, that is down 3%. That is a gnarly one. All these charts sort of look the same double toppy. I'm not gonna lie. Hey, happy Father's Day, brother. Congratulations. Weber Genesis 430 Stealth. I never heard of it, but it sounds like a nice piece. Let's take it, give it a look. Weber Genesis 430 Stealth. Wow. Wow. What a piece that is. I think it looks fucking sick. Congratulations, man. Damn. Happy Father's Day. Fuck. That thing looks like a fucking monster. The Dow's basically flat. The semi index is down 8%. Semi's got murked today. fucking crushed. Semis. IGV is flat, and the IBB, the bio index, is looking insane. I'm gonna be honest. I'm sitting here staring at this thing, looking like, look at this thing. This looks really good, in my opinion. It's been in this for like, it kind of just broke out of it off the top tick here. It's been in this for like, I don't know. How long has it been in this range? 230 days and some change. That is a really good looking chart, especially on a day like today. Now, the scariest trade today is the Kospi. Okay. It's a South Korea index. And they circuit broke this thing down 10% in a straight line. It is now down 12% off ATH, but it got crushed 10% in a straight line. Is anyone long Samsung, SK Hynix, anything in between? So let's take a second. Let's back up and let's go over some Korean stock stuff because it's pretty bad. So my understanding of what happened, other than the fact that South Korea has been really overextended, is this article came out and it scared the fuck out of everybody. And they started panic dumping the Kospi, SK Hynix, Samsung, everything in between. And it got kind of ugly. Goldman came out. They published a rebuttal to it. But I don't think it was this article per se that did it. Maybe it was like a catalyst. But yeah, as Greg mentioned, there was 100-to-1 call to put ratio. And so there's a couple explanations to what happened here. I'll read the Jucon thing first. No, let me go back to. So Jucon tweets and says, why did it fall today? 1, Korean leverage trading has climbed to excessively high levels. 2, ahead of a Micron earnings, profit taking is underway. Micron also got crushed. 3, Korean lawmakers are discussing imposing taxes on unrealized gains from stocks. That's pretty scary. I will actually look into that. 4, SK Hynix overtaking Samsung and market capitalization is being read as a market top signal. 5 is a delay in SK Hynix ADR listing. What does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? Listing in the US. Got it. Okay. Delay in SK Hynix trading in the US. And 6 is the failure of the Korean market to gain inclusion in the MSCI. That's the Morgan Stanley. This is Morgan Stanley that isn't MicroStrategy in this. Morgan Stanley index. How much volume does this do? It's for countries. Oh, I thought it was the Morgan Stanley. Isn't strategy in this? They're not the same object. God, it's for emerging markets. Different kind of index. It does a fucking lot of volume though. Okay, cool. Good to know. So this was the explanation. The ADR thing I think is a big deal. People were pretty excited to trade SK in the US. But then this article comes out that I don't fully understand, but let's just like cover it just because it's important and we're getting good at stuff we don't understand. Is SK Hynix shifts to commodity DRAM as margins top HBM, high bandwidth memory, opening Samsung HBM chance. And so SK Hynix is putting more weight on targeting commodity DRAM market while adjusting the pace of expanding mass production of 6th generation high bandwidth memory, HBM4. With HBM already accounting for more than 40% of revenue and establishing an overwhelming lead, the company says it is reallocating resources to secure additional revenue from commodity DRAM, where the supply shortage is severe, rather than engaging in excessive capacity expansion races. And so this is basically the article. Let's just ask ChatGPT. I'm 2% up. All my stocks is tech. Give me a super tight summary on what this article means and why it would be bad for South Korea market. And I'll read you the Goldman thing after. So SK Hynix is basically saying we're already running HBM. Instead of building even more high bandwidth memory capacity, let's make more regular DRAM because it's insanely profitable right now. So they're slowing the move from HBM 3E to HBM 4, allocating more wafers capacity to commodity DRAM, trying to maximize near-term profits. It could be bad because the market currently values SK Hynix as the NVIDIA HBM winner, not a cyclical memory company. Da-da-da. So HBM, it could be interpreted that HBM demand is weaker than expected. Ruben demand may be softer, and then Samsung gets a chance to catch up. That's a cool one. If SK slows down while Samsung executes, Samsung share rises, SK share falls from 57%. HBM moat narrows. Cool. So this comes out, and then the markets just start like fucking dumping, bro. They start getting crushed. And Goldman Sachs publishes a response on it. And they say, let me see if I have it. Here it is. So from Bloomberg, Goldman Sachs sales desk remains bullish on the earnings outlook for Korean and Taiwanese memory chip makers, despite a local media report on SK Hynix slowing its pace of HBM4 production expansion. So they're saying the sell was primarily flow-driven, In Taiwan, we saw huge funds unwinding positions today, while regional peers such as Samsung, SK Hynix, They suggest that memory makers are not actually halting HBM progress, but pending ongoing NVIDIA's verification. Also, in case you didn't know, DRAM is currently more margin accretive. So, yeah, I don't know. It was sort of published as it's not a big deal. Goldman Sachs comes out and writes a report on it. But I think it was just... Look, I think we're sort of reaching a point where any sketchy news, any direction is leading to some level of panic in the market. Like, people are ready to fucking dump stuff. So we'll come back to Korea, but I wanted to just like outline it really quick, and we'll get back there at some point. But the market is just like, the thing about when people feel like it's overextended, they're ready to panic on some type of dump move. So anyways, circuit breaker for South Korea on this article, plus general fear. And the IBB is the biggest winner today. Crypto looks terrible. Bitcoin looks awful. It just like paints head and shoulder patterns on high time frame, low time frame, medium time frame. It's 62.3 right now. Hyperliquid also doesn't look great, honestly. You have this like this double top. All these charts, it kind of looks just like NQ or NASDAQ. Looks like ES and SPX. Like they all kind of have this little pattern here, which is not great. So Hyperliquid is 62.7. I think Zcash is probably the worst. 420. Near doesn't even deserve to be on this list anymore. We're gonna take it off. VVV as well for now. We're gonna take it off. What's wrong with the double top? Well, the double top usually precedes a significant dump. That's the problem, I would say. Is that you get this like, you know what the nastiest double top of all time is? I'll show you. Here's the nastiest double top of all time. Right here. Look at this. Look at this. ETH has a pretty bad one, but this was bad. Bitcoin goes on this crazy run. Dump it down 50%. And then it makes a new all-time high by like a tick. And then it just goes straight down. Industry collapses. That was a, I didn't mean to do that. That was a classic. GameStop board withdrew CEO Ryan Cohen's performance award to focus on the eBay acquisition. Wait, what does that mean? There's no volume. GameStop will release a detailed strategic presentation regarding the eBay acquisition this week. Wait. happened to my too many tabs. Wow, they really want eBay. I thought they were done. I thought they were gonna for sure they were gonna be done. Post market, it's flat. The market doesn't care. eBay, I thought for sure they were gonna be done. eBay after hours, no trades. Huh. Crazy. I'm shocked that they want it that bad. But anyways, ETH. I mean, crypto is so horrible right now. I don't pay attention. I'm really not paying attention. They tried to do the Solana Summer thing. I was relatively interested in Solana Summer, but it's just there's no reason for it to happen right now. There's just not. I'm sorry. That's ETH, and then Sol's back under 7. It looks. I mean, Sol looks terrible. Sol looks like the worst one. I never got it. It looks like the worst one. I had people calling me this weekend like, why is Solana? I don't usually do crypto, or I don't usually do markets during the week. Like Saturday, I'm usually not paying attention. Sunday, I pay attention to get ready for the week. But people are calling me on Saturday like, why is Solana ripping? I'm fucking, I run to my phone. It's like $71. I'm like, what are you talking? What? Why is Solana ripping? Nothing. Metals chads. We're going for new lows. Silver, it's awful. Lowest it's been really since the initial pump of December. Gold, awful. And copper is looking like it's ready to lose it. I never got long. Pump never really happened. It looks like it's ready to lose it. The VIX was up 13% today, which is pretty crazy. And Stretch, Michael Saylor, looks like it is ready to die. It looks like it's ready to die. I believe they just added it to Hyperliquid. It's a no volume. Let me delete some of these tabs. It's a no volume, but it is on Hyperliquid, which is interesting. Anyways, let's get to what you care about the most. Oil, first and foremost. Crude oil comes in down 0.68% to $73.36 a barrel. Brent oil, 76.875 a barrel, down the same amount. Palantir, new lows. Palantir, lowest it's been since May of 2025. It fully retraced the Trump pump, and it is in a really tough spot if you are a Palantir bull. I must admit, this is the tightest Trump proxy stock, I think, and it doesn't look good. I don't even know where you buy this thing. I mean, you probably definitely buy it at 62, but I don't know, maybe a gap fill at 80. I don't know. Where does this go? Unclear. All right. Big tech, big semis, big AI, everything in between. Also, one more time, if you're on YouTube or Twitter and you would like to chat, twitch.tv/threadguy. Also, no, I have ads minimized. I have minimized ads. I can't turn them off. I would turn them off if I could. I can't. Twitch won't let you. Blame Andy Jassy. Not me. All right, starting with IBM. I do have a position in IBM. It's the biggest gainer today. It is up 5%. Most of that happened after hours yesterday. I entered at my entry is like 256. I actually bought a little bit more today. I'm really only thinking in short-term trades right now because market feels overextended and scary, and I feel late to the trend. It's hard to buy a lot of spot. So this is what happened yesterday is Trump went on this crazy quantum spree, and it felt like a good entry. So the White House comes out. They start talking about quantum from every official channel, Department of Energy, White House, Trump's account, Truth Social, every account. They're talking about quantum. Trump brings the CEO. Also, did we miss Cerebus earnings? Trump brings the CEO of IBM behind him, and they do an entire press conference. And so I saw it. I see all the quantum push, and I'm like, yeah, worth a click. Not my favorite special situations trade, but worth a click. He's begging me to buy it. Worth a click, and so I did. And there's a couple funny clips from it. This is one of them.
There aren't too many. IBM CEO Arvind Krishna, who's a great man, who's a really great job. What a great job. What a job you've done. I used to have that stock when it was much, much lower. I brilliantly sold it when I became president. That was not a good move.
Pretty funny. But it was just funny. So, like, Department of War, quantum dominance. And so the U.S. is basically going around, and any tech, AI, quantum, nuclear, space, anything that is remotely crypto or related to emerging technology, the U.S. is declaring they're going to be the dominant force of it. I actually really like this. I like it. I like it. I think there's no reason not to like it. I like what they're doing. I like it. They're going as hard as humanly possible to win all of tech. And I think it's great for American companies. Now, I saw this tweet. I think it's a pretty good one from Rune, which is, a lot of people think quantum and AI are roughly the same thing on the same order of importance, just shooting darts in the sci-fi somatic space. I mean, yeah, I don't know how many people in the White House really understand quantum computing, but relatively irrelevant. I think their strategy around quantum is pretty good, which is like, just start giving the companies money. The ones that pick your winners and give them money. And so we come back to this tweet where the US May 21st gave a grant to 9 quantum computing firms. The biggest one was IBM, which I have a small position in, at 224, so it's up a bunch. The second biggest was GFS at 66, $83 right now. The third biggest was QBTS, D-Wave. Long time ago, right? $19 is at 25 now. The fourth one was Rigetti, got 100 mil. RGTI at $16 is at 21, up a lot. And the final is INFQ, which I think is the most random on this list. Kind of came out of nowhere from what I understand. Inflection. But this was very cheap. I mean, this was at $11, at $15. And so all of them are up like 40, 50% since they partnered with NVIDIA, since these grants went out. And I think, look, I think if Trump has said one thing, you got to take him at his word on stock prices. If he says it's going to go up, it's going to go up. If he says it's going to go down like oil, it's going to go down like oil. And so quantum is traded very well. And then we have the new one, Quantinuum QNT, which was up, 13% today. It's up 13% today. So I don't have much conviction in anything right now. I'm only interested in these short-term thesis changed type of plays. And I liked the IBM click. It felt like a good time to click some IBM. He's shielding it really hard. It's back in the picture. They did this like coordinated push from all White House accounts to shill quantum. And that to me is the type of stuff I get excited about. I don't care about earnings. I don't care about I care about thesis changed or everyone chilling it. That's the type of shit I get. I care about momentum narrative. I get fired up for that. And so they're also, I mean, they're criming stuff at the same time. How do we not hear about IBM in the pit? It was on stream and it's like low conviction. I don't like to come here and like show you things that I'm trading. I'm trying to get, honestly, I'm trying to get better at this strategy. I'm trying to like get better at the type of style that I'm trading right now. And so I don't like to like show you a ton of coins. It's a little bit scary. It's kind of low key. Like I talked about it if you watch stream, but that's it. It was funny because they like crimed the announcement with Quantum and with the CEO appearing at the White House. Because at the same time they announced IBM and OpenAI expanding cybersecurity collaboration, bringing frontier AI capabilities to help enterprises defend against machine speed cyber threats. So what does this mean? Who the fuck knows? But anytime you see the algos see OpenAI or Anthropic at an announcement, it likes it. So yeah, then it was part of this larger quantum executive order Trump signed. I don't think anyone really knows what it is. He signed 2 executive orders on Monday to push quantum. One of them was to make like government websites post quantum by My eyelashes are so nice. Thank you. To make him make, I think to make government websites post quantum by 2031. And the other one is I don't even know. One positive tailwind you have is that the government is really afraid of quantum and it cracking cryptography. And so it's optimistic for Bitcoin. I'll say that. It's optimistic that they're going to get something done. But anyways, that's my IBM trade. That's the quantum, and that's the biggest gainer. Second is Cloudflare, which was down yesterday and is back up 3% today. Dell is up 2. That's a Trump stock. Microsoft up 2. Snowflake, Adobe, Cerebras, which did we have earnings? Earnings guy? FedEx beat. And that's it. Is it tomorrow? Oh. Oh. That's Crocs. It's June 23rd. Huh. What the fuck? Where are they? Nothing. No announcement yet. That's rather weird. Let me know when it's out. SpaceX had a interesting day. It is hit all-time lows of 147. It was lower than top tick or first tick on IPO day. I know it's just 4 p.m., but it's past 4 p.m. It's currently 156.74. Does anyone have a position in SpaceX? Look, man, I would love to trade this thing. I would love to have a position. You know, I like to be in the current thing, but I round tripped it. I closed at break even. I was disciplined. I was proud of my close. And I don't have a catalyst. If you gave me a catalyst to enter, I would be the first person to slam it. But I don't have a catalyst. And so there are some people going in. Number one is Kathy Wood, who is maybe a counter signal at this stage, has bought with ARK. ARK Invest bought more than 210,000 shares worth 32 million. SpaceX. The purchase adds to ARK's existing position following SpaceX's IPO, with Kathy Wood viewing the sell-off as a buying opportunity. I mean, she's been like the biggest counter signal of the last decade. So that's number one. And then second is you had this Susquehanna updated rating at $170, which is completely useless. It's like Ansem tweeting a hype target at $65. It's like completely useless. But at the very least, it matters. Also, yes, you do have Russell inclusion on Friday at close, and I think NASDAQ is a couple weeks out. And so we'll see what happens with SpaceX. But as it currently stands, it's in a really tough spot. Now, you get this thing back above 190 range, and all of a sudden, I'm fucking interested again. But for now, I think it's kind of stuck in no man's land. Massive crush on Kathy. Yeah, me too. Amazon, flat. Meta, basically flat. Biggest losers, SanDisk, crushed. Down 14%. Now, I'm assuming the SanDisk crush is the same as the Micron, like just following the memory crush, because Micron's on 14%. I kind of got lucky, man. I longed it yesterday on Anthropic News, and I got the fuck out at break even. It started gapping down last night. Got the fuck out. Made $100 or something. Fully got out. So Micron earnings are tomorrow. I think we're expecting a giga crush, but anything less than a giga crush, and I think that we are in trouble with Micron earnings. What do I have? Bubba Boy says it's going to kill the stock market on Wednesday. The Anthropic deal was a last pump to stay alive. I don't think the Anthropic deal was anything. I think everyone has these same partnership deals. To me, it was a complete nothing burger. And then this is the take I really like, suspended cap. Going to be really tough for Micron tomorrow. Margins are not revised up, dead. Margins revised up hard. Ecosystem issue, mags dead. CapEx too low, same thing. CapEx too high, supply coming in. It feels like one of those really stuck spots for Micron, but you know, maybe we just front ran it. Maybe the market just front ran it. It's down. I mean, it's down 14% in a day. After hours is up 1.4. It got absolutely crushed. Sentiment check. Is anyone here trading Micron earnings? And yes, the great Air Mass did say he is expecting $1,500 after earnings. If you have a 20% pop after hours, maybe worth selling. So he's predicting 1,500. Fucking back hurts. 1,500 after earnings, and then he's going to sell, which I think is the first time I've heard him say the word sell as it relates to Micron. And he's saying he wants to buy Meta. He wants to buy Meta. So I'm still holding from 354. Wow. I'm going to save this video. I like this video a lot. DNAP, let's save this. Micron. Is there anything good for Micron earnings? Do we want to watch a second of this or no? Do we care?
And some of the shares diving right now. Micron amid a broader sell-off for
we covered Meta.
AI-related firms triggered by cost concerns and the slower pace of production. Micron's up by 7%. Now, this comes just one day after Micron's partnership with Anthropic for adoption of Claude.
It's just like we already covered all this shit. Who cares? We already covered it. Yeah, I mean, tough spot. Tough spot for Micron, but a big... I mean, tomorrow's going to be one of the biggest days in a long time, I think. One of the biggest days in a long time for stocks. It's going to determine a lot, I would imagine, as to what happens next. So also, checking in if you're on YouTube or Twitter and you'd like to chat. Twitch.tv/threadguy. ARM's down 10. Marvell is also down 10. QCOM down 8. ASML down 7. Bloom down 7. Intel down 7. Space crushed. Redwire down 6. Fly down 6. Space down 6. Tesla down 6. Tesla 380. Not good. Tesla. AMD down 5. Oracle down 5. Rocket Lab lost 100. That is down 5. Google down 1. Apple down 1. Now, potentially the story of today is decent performance on the mags. I have this section called Bear Market, and I put this in the pit yesterday. I said Mag 7 looks awful. I don't know how much it will drag down indices, but it's a very noticeable problem at this point, right? It's like it's very, the thing about crypto that gives you edge, I think, is you trade so many cycles because they happen so fast. And so we know when the big caps get really weak and you can't pump them anymore, it costs too much money. You take the same amount of money instead of barely pumping them and you pump something further out, high beta more. And then when you can't pump those, you go further and further and further and further and further out. And we've kind of like given up on big caps move too slow. Mags move too slow. We're uninterested. It feels very similar to like what an alt season looks like. And when we decide Bitcoin is like too easy to outperform, and it's usually not great. Like you would like to see some Nvidia 5-10% days again. And so this felt important when I read this tweet. I'm like, yeah, I think it's a pretty decent take. And then it lines up with this Gavin Baker thing. I played this yesterday, but I want to play it one more time because there's a kind of carnage market today.
I do think the bottleneck bros, as they are called, are this like bottleneck trade is kind of nearing its end.
Okay.
And I did the Wall Street Journal had the story about this Japanese company that makes I forget what they make.
Isn't it Toto?
Ajinomoto, yeah.
Ajinomoto. And everybody's in this because they thought they were going to raise prices, and then they just said, we're actually not going to raise prices. This is the wrong thing for us. And I almost posted yesterday on X, welcome to Japan, to all of the bottleneck people. But everybody's having Claude run. What's the next bottleneck?
Yeah.
That was the game for the last year. The next game is what has enduring franchise value.
Yeah.
Kind of on the other side of these bottlenecks, whenever that is.
Mm-hmm. Cisco, critical infrastructure for.
So we'll see, but look, I don't know if you could say, is there like a ticker, like Mags ticker? Is like a Mag 7 ticker or no? Thank you. They're down 1 point. Yeah, I mean, it looks terrible. It actually does look terrible. Just called Mags, down 1.37% today. But I don't know. For some reason, it felt like a fairly significant day that, like semiconductor 3X ETF is down 23% today. Mags is down like 1. It felt, I don't know if you want to say relative outperformance, but it felt like it did relatively important PA today. So Amazon's a pretty ugly one. It's on 15%. It's a pretty ugly one, but I don't know. It's going to be something to monitor. Like if these things can't go up anymore, if there's no way for these things to go up anymore, market's probably in trouble. All right, more of our consumer names and some SaaS. Biggest gainer is Zeta, that emit stock. I haven't said this out loud in a while. StubHub number 2, surprisingly good PA on StubHub. I'm not going to sell here. I'm going to try to actually do some DD into what I could buy better to express my IRL long-term thesis. But I like the way StubHub looks today, up 4%. Lululemon, the Michael Burry stock, is up 4. AMC, biggest loser by a lot, down 25%. That's just awesome. Texas Instruments down 9. Enhanced Games down 8. MicroStrategy down 5. Check out HPE. That had been crushing it. Isn't it just HP? No, is it HPE? Yeah, it is HPE. Whoa, that's an interesting chart. That's a really interesting chart. Oh, it's hourly. That is an interesting chart, though. Still, I like the way this looks. HPE D-Gill stock. Coinbase down 4. Snapchat down 4. Nebius had a weird day. It's down 3. Reddit down 3. Uber down 2.5. Despite Waymo getting banned from New York. Hood, that's down 2.5. IBKR down 2. Nike down another 2%. The IRL trade, you see Jeff Dorman, Galaxy Shield. No, I did not. Interesting. Also, I'd like to bookmark this too. Strategy in a death spiral. I'd actually maybe get him on stream at some point. Oh, two more notable ones. Eli Lilly looks decent. Why did it get banned in New York City? Because the taxi medallion group is powerful in New York City. And Hims, anyone here long Hims, looks really good. Down 2% today, but it's pretty fucking strong. All right, our IRL index, StubHub leader, UFC's up 3%. Formula 1 is up 2. MSG is up 1.5, new all-time high. It's a monster. The Sphere, new all-time high. Royal Caribbean, Madison Square Garden, the other, not the entertainment, but the arena is flat. Oh, that wasn't Formula 1, that was Six Flags, up 2%, excuse me. Formula 1 is flat. Live Nation down 1.5, and the AMC down 24%. Yeah, look at this, though. It's MSG, the arena. No, it's MSG Entertainment Group. Unbelievable stock, this thing is. Look at this. Way this thing trades. News. Cerebras announces multi-year deal with OpenAI, valued at over $20 billion. That'll do it. Is that a fucking bid? What's the market cap of Cerebras? Does that make it a bid, my friends? What's the market cap of Cerebras? $40 billion. They just announced a $20 billion partnership. That's insane. Oh my god, he's fucking late, dude. $34 million volume when we first looked. He's late. Come on, man. Lock the fuck in. Is it a trade or no? D-Nap, send it right when it comes. We don't have EPS though, right? Damn, they're crushing it. Yeah, we have this headline. They're crushing. I didn't trade it. So I don't really have a thesis. I don't have a thesis. I don't have a thesis. I'd like to board trade it, but I don't have a thesis. Oh wait, let's use fucking Hyperdash. Yes. Watch this. I'm gonna show you something cool. I love this platform right now. Let me see if I can figure out how to use it. Cerebrus. Change. Bigger. A lot bigger. Last 15 minutes guy had $220,000. That's it? All times perps P&L is terrible. No. How about here? This is a sick wallet. Average trade duration is 9 minutes. He has Cerebrus. Not much. 10K. He's selling it. What about here? DNF, they gotta fix this, by the way. This, like, it doesn't, it's clunky on the fucking thing. You could see, like, updated positions. So I could see, like, fucking, it's so clunky, though. This wall is insane. You could see, like, net P&L, biggest trades ever. This is a weird wallet. Yeah. All right, well, we'll come earnings out. No. I mean, it doesn't look great. Yeah, I'm gonna call the Hyperdash team today. It's sick. Like, you can go you can also, like, look at the platform as if you're this person. So, like, you, like, they call it, like, snooping as wallet. And so it's, like, kind of clunky right now. So I see my UI, like, as if I'm him. I could see, like, my he has 2 open orders, a close long above. So he has a close. Okay, look. So this guy's a position open right now of, let's see what it is. He has a position open right now for 250K margin on 5x. He has open orders to close stop loss at 198, which would be minus a lot, minus 72,000. Or is that what he's at right now? No, he's minus 70,000 right now. Oh my God, he would get taken out back. To close below 198 or to TP above 245. That doesn't feel like a great RR at all. It's minus 90K right now. I don't know how to use it that well. He just got filled. He just bought more. I don't know how to use it that well, but I'm gonna get nasty at it because I think it's like such a sick platform. Because my take on this is like position changes. No, I don't know how to use it that well. My take on it is it's this guy though. Is that as Hyperliquid eats more of trad finance and more stock trades, like as of right now, you could see 0% with Robinhood and things like this. And so if it has 1%, 5%, 7%, you could see like large amount. You could see like exponentially more publicized trades of what people are in, what they're trading, what they're buying, what they're selling. I think it's really cool. Yeah, this kid's getting crushed in this. He just closed it, I think. He just closed it. That was so quick. Look at this. He just closed it. Minus 137. Holy fuck. Damn, he just closed it, dude. That was insane. Oh my God. Is he in the chat? I don't think so. Yeah, that was nuts. 137, like a fucking snap, dude. He lost it so fast. I kind of think this is going to happen tomorrow at Micron. I don't know. Like, they're saying, someone said they're reading Cerebras earnings and they're sick. I mean, I don't know. You got to hope not. All right. Anyways, we can keep going. We have more stuff to cover. That was IRL. Like we covered all our stocks. Yeah, we did cover all stocks. All right. Real quick on chain check because Arthur Hayes' fund just showed cards. I just want to check cards. Did nothing. 75 mil. Not bad. Kins 11. Wave, are you long? I know you liked it. TCG is mooning 8 mil. And Asteroid maybe 45 crushed. Wow, this is insane. The books. Wait, let's just look at this for a minute. Let me just try to focus. Let me try to get good at this. It's annoying how it doesn't like. I wanted to read. My fuck. It's really annoying. Like I can't. I want to see the notional amount of how much they've added right here, but it's kind of clunky. You see what I'm saying? Like ideally it says plus the amount, but I'm over all the way on this. You know what I mean? Maybe if I move it back more. No, if I expand it, it doesn't show. Oh, what if I do this? Yes. Yes. All right, bet. All right, back in business. All right, over the last 15 minutes, this guy had a 95K. Whoa. This is probably a market. Yeah, algorithmic. Okay, that's a market maker. This guy had 25K. What is this? Also algorithmic. This guy had 15K. Also algorithmic. It's all fucking market makers trading this thing. They're just fucking the books, or what's happening? Guy had plus 3K. Also algorithmic. There's no real traders in this thing. What about over the last hour? This guy had $1.4 million last hour. This is not algorithmic. Oh, that's the guy we just watched. Oh, we just watched it happen in real time. He's the biggest trader. This guy had 300K. Not algorithmic, okay? He's up a mil all time. He was on 400K not that long ago. Buys at 1.7. Did he make money on? He still has it. 63K margin on 5x. He's down 27K. Enter at 227. Yeah, this is kind of nasty. Not great. Kind of nasty. All right. Mid IPOs. We got 2 of them on the rise. And first and foremost, Uber-backed Lime is seeking $180 million in a U.S. IPO. Lime plans to sell 6.7 million shares at $24 to $26 each, while selling shareholders offering another 276,000 shares. At the top of the range, Lime would be valued about $1.7 billion. Brother, they are IPOing everything nowadays. I think that these rideshare bikes is one of the worst businesses in the world. It is one of the worst businesses ever. They're too expensive. They are not a meaningful replacement for the subway because they cost too much. And I don't know if you've ever driven on one of these, but they're only popular in the city, New York City, because that's where there's density, and they are fucking dangerous, brother. They are dangerous. Driving an electric bike through New York City is actually one of the most dangerous activities. You want an adrenaline rush? Drive through Manhattan on a city bike. It is one of the most dangerous things you could do on the weekend. Seriously, it's insane. I think I think this business is terrible for these bikes. I think it's a terrible business, and this is not something I would ever touch. Also, there's this SoftBank, who backs everything. Backed used car marketplace Caro. Anyone ever use this? Is considering confidentially filing for a U.S. IPO as soon as this month. Caro may raise up to 500 mil and is considering a second listing in Singapore through SGX's new global listing board. Founded in 2015, they operate primarily in Asia with services including car sales, financing, insurance, and after-sales care. I've never heard of it, but holy fuck, are used cars getting expensive? We're not that far away from the level where you can't buy a car for under 100 grand. Used cars are getting so ridiculously expensive, except the car I bought that I'm trying to sell with 5,000 miles is worth half the price I paid for it 1 year ago. Everyone's used cars are going up except for mine. It's such bullshit, you know? Everyone else's used cars are going up. I don't want to say. When I sell it, I'll show you a picture. No, it's not a Tesla. It's a Mercedes. It's GG. It's not an SUV. It's fresh, though. I'll show you it when I sell it. How about that? Unless I have a buyer. I have a vintage Mustang to sell you if you want. My dad, I'm still mad at my dad. He fucking sold the Mustang. It was a 2005 Mustang GT. It was a manual. It's how I learned how to drive stick. It's one of the most beautiful cars I've ever had. He sold it. Breaks my heart. It really breaks my heart. All right. So I have a little segment today on bear market. And I want to just go over, like, you know, it's not that helpful really, but there's some like decent bear porn today, and I never miss a good opportunity to fearmonger a little bit. Also, let's check in. Ugh, God. I have a 67 that's been in the shop for a year. How much? How much? You never miss a good opportunity to fearmonger on the TL. So let's talk about it. Why is everything crashing? First, AI semiconductor deleveraging. I mean, how much, Eli's? You know I do fine. South Korea's Cosby crashed 10% today, triggering a circuit breaker. We covered that with the local media report saying SK Hynix is slowing down expansion of its newest chip and shifting focus to a lower priced. Mike's too quiet? Really? To a lower price commodity grade chip to cover a shortfall. We already covered this. For a company at the center of the AI memory boom, that reads as a signal that demand assumptions are being walked back. So we went over this. On top of that, Korean investors have been buying chip stocks with record amounts of borrowed money after regulators had already warned that the sector's rally had run too hot. Quarter end rebalancing. JP Morgan warned that quarter end rebalancing could force up to $165 billion in equity selling worldwide. I don't know too much about quarter rebalancing, but big pension funds and sovereign wealth funds have to rebalance back to fixed stock to bond targets after strong run in stocks. The window runs through June 30th, so we're still in the middle of it. Is that a sham or no? I don't really know how that works. Is that a sham? Is that just complete bullshit? A hawkish Fed. 9 out of the Fed's 19 policymakers are projecting at least one rate hike this year. We already covered that. The USD and JPY intervention, possible intervention. This I actually did not cover. It had violent wicks. Citrini said he's short. The kind of move that shows up when Japan steps in to defend the yen. The pair is already sitting near levels where Japan had intervened before. and then tech-specific weakness. So a lot of slop. I mean, I don't know. The market's extended. People are scared from Micron. It is what it is. Now, our favorite bear, he's back from hiatus. Odd stats. I bet you're wondering right about now how the market has done in the past when the Q's gap down 2%, SPY gaps down 1%, and not immediately after a weekend with VIX under 20 the previous close. That ESPN ass stat. Today would only be the third time ever. The last two, February 3rd, 2023, and Friday, June 24th, 2016. It's simple. If your portfolio is supposed to be 60-40 stocks to equity, but equity's ripped those of the allocation, so it may not be 90-10. They sell stocks to buy bonds to get it back to 60-40. Okay, so bonds should be going down then. We should see bond yields go down in that sense. CBOE just relaunched binary options SP 500. Ah, that's interesting. Yes or no? Will it hit price in a certain term? I like these yes, no, up, down markets. The guy's a safe haven. I love you. It's like poly market, Bitcoin up, down markets. I like these. Also, he's such a bear. It's like so annoying. SPX is currently down 1.4% for June with about a week to go. Would you like to know all the years with a red June in the past decade? 2022. That's the list. 2022 was a bad year. You know why? They hiked the fuck out of rates. So yeah, on SpaceX, pretty big red flag for the market going forward. Thoughts on IMAX instead of AMC for the IRL play? I'm going to do research today. Did you do any research? Because I would love to look at your stuff if you do. I'd be very interested what you think, actually, because I don't have that much of a take. These next IPOs valued in the trillions are also going to shit the bed most likely because it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. The number one show machine couldn't hold up SpaceX for more than 2 days. Looks tired. Well, yeah. Doesn't set a great precedent for the coming IPOs. But okay, our resident liberal bear, Ed Zitron, is now the face of the Bears, and he did one more take on general bearishness. I'd like to watch a couple minutes.
And all of that, I think, comes from I have this theory called the rock-on bubble, which is tech is out of ideas. They're out. When I say that, I don't mean they literally have none.
This is a terrible take, Ed. What the fuck?
I mean, they have no hype.
They're colonizing Mars. They invented reusable rockets. They built super intelligence. And they're putting people on the moon.
Ideas. They don't have a new AWS. They don't have a new iPhone or a new smartphone. They don't have an X cloud computing. And AI was meant to be the panacea. It was meant to be AI models, as in via the API, were meant to be the thing that created the next generation of startups, that created the next generation of enterprise bolt-ons so that the software industry could grow. It was meant to be the future of consumer software. And it was even meant to be the next AWS in the form of AI GPUs, which is why they've sunk so much money into it.
This is a terrible take, Ed.
Meta puts aside, I don't think Meta really has a strategy. I think it's just like spend money until Mark gets bored. But Microsoft, Google, Amazon, I think they saw this as an opportunity to create the next generation because they don't have anything else. There is no other business line that's shown anything close to the possibility of having the growth, just talking pure growth. And the worst thing is that while they've seen some growth from AI, it's mostly because Anthropic and OpenAI spend an alarming amount of money on compute, which means that they're basically just feeding their money back into themselves and then feeding their own cash flows into NVIDIA or Broadcom or one of the Taiwanese ODMs, so Honhai, Foxconn, the companies that build the servers in Taiwan. So it's rough. It's very rough because for me to be wrong, there needs to be hundreds of billions of dollars of AI compute demand. Put aside OpenAI and Anthropic, hundreds of billions of dollars, because there are over 100 gigawatts of data centers planned, 12.5 to 15 million per megawatt. The compute demand does not exist. And the only companies that are spending that much are these unprofitable AI companies, which are having...
I don't like this guy at all.
Their gaping holes plugged by hyperscalers. It's very rough, and I don't see any path for it to normalize. It hasn't been normalized, and there are tons of signs things are actually getting worse.
One core claim that you said, I just want to revisit, is that the losses experienced by the two largest labs, Anthropic and OpenAI.
Yeah, uninterested in his take. But I liked this Tolk's take, which is that but most of the morning swapping long Marvell and Amazon on perps, calls in gold and silver. Healthiest thing imaginable for the market right now would be the boring things like mags and precious metals to bottom here. This I agree with. This, ladies and gentlemen, threadguy wholeheartedly announces he agrees with. That would be optimal for sure. Also, God, Cerebrus. Is anyone twapping this thing? 15-minute recent changes, refresh. Not algorithmic. Who is this? Wow, 10x long, 30K. That's scary. What about this? Algorithmic. So way to like sort out algorithmic, not algorithmic, but ugh. Close Cerebrus. Minus 7K. How about this? YouTube gang rise up. Stop! YouTube gang! YouTube gang! I'm fucking with you, man. Come over to Twitch. Come over to the good side. Anyways, that's Cerebrus. Not great over there. All right, let's switch it up a little bit. War on oil has now switched. It is no longer the Iran war. It is the Cuban war. And that would start with a... Check this chart. He's been doing pretty well. Okay, what do you got? This is this fucking guy. This is a good trader. He's long IBM. It would start with one Hormuz and then a little Cuba. Okay. Despite their protestations and false statements to the contrary, coupled with the drumbeat of the fake news, which is doing everything possible to make the U.S. victory as small and insignificant as possible. Yeah, you can send it. Just link it. It'll block it, but I'll click it. Iran has fully and completely agreed to the highest level nuclear inspections long into the future, infinity. This will ensure nuclear honesty. If they did not agree to this, there would be no further negotiations. Based on this and other major concessions being made by Iran, I have agreed to allow the Hormuz Strait to remain open with no further naval blockade. That is Hormuz. Second is the situation in Cuba is developing as the island's corrupt, brutal, and anti-American communist regime continues to prioritize its own total control over the freedom, opportunity, and basic well-being of the Cuban people. Quick pause to check a wallet. Explore, search anything. That is, in fact, a nice wallet. It's up $5 million. All time, and he's long. Wow, short Nvidia up 500 grand, short silver up 600 grand, short Google crush, but it might play well. And long the S&P 500 up 400. Long S&P, short Google, and Nvidia is crazy. Nice fucking trade. I'll save this. Thank you. Average hold duration is 3 days. Marco Rubio, the Cuban military-controlled conglomerate GAESA has persistently served as the main vector for regime elites to steal the island's few resources, diverting them for repression, anti-American subversion, and spying instead of schools, power plants, and basic necessities for the Cuban people. Today, I designated additional GAESA network entities associated with moving both its money and its physical assets, as well as entities responsible for exploiting Cuba's mineral and metal reserves for ill-gotten profit. Anyone providing services to these sanctioned actors is at risk of being sanctioned themselves. Foreign banks and other companies that provide services to these entities should freeze those activities immediately. Daily Jerker, good to see you. Okay, I don't know anything about Cuba the same way I knew nothing about Iran when we first started, and so we're gonna have to run that back and become experts on the Cuban government. Right now, there's a poly market for Miguel Diaz-Canel, out of leader of Cuba by, and this would be, I'm assuming, the leader of Cuba. Assuming, yeah, looks like the leader of Cuba. This has not a ton of volume, but enough. $2 million of volume. There's a 52% chance by December 31st. So I was trying to figure out, like, is there a trade on this? And you correct me if I'm wrong, but the data that I gathered is that Cuba is not a threat and they don't have much of anything. And nothing really happens if we take Cuba from a market standpoint. Like there's not like an oil threat. It's just like nothing really goes down is kind of what I gathered. I don't really want to bring breaking points back into the mix, but maybe we'll watch like a minute of this video. It's a little bit old. I just want to watch like 2 minutes. I personally think we should take every country. I agree.
We're joined by our friend Juan David Rojas. He is an independent journalist. He's got his own Substack, Social Democracy with Populist Characteristics, our resident Latin America expert. So Juan, you're here to talk about what's going on between the United States government and Cuba. The White House released this propaganda video yesterday indicting Raul Castro, an age 94 years old. Let's take a listen.
Today, we are announcing an indictment charging Raul Castro and several others with conspiracy to kill U.S. nationals. This is a story all too familiar. On February 24th, 1996, 2 civilian aircraft operated by Brothers to the Rescue were shot down over international waters by military aircraft from Cuba. 4 men were killed: Carlos Costa, Armando Alejandre Jr., Mario.
Yeah. Any public vehicle to trade Cuban cigar companies? Cuban cigar is actually a big thing, or is that just like the name? There's no way to trade it. Philip Morris. Yeah, nothing. So yeah, I don't really know as it relates to Cuba what we're gonna do. I think we're gonna do nothing, but we are gonna cover it because we're stock commentators, we're geopolitical commentators. We're a little bit of everything. Anything else was like important? Tesla had this investigation, but it was found out not to be full self-driving, so it's a nothing burger. Oh, I do want to show you this. Taiwan is also in like panic right now, the market. We did SK Hynix. Read these Taiwan excerpts though. Taiwan markets in what's the like Taiwan stock market? TWSE. TSM? No, topics. It's only down 3%. It's getting fucking frothy over there. Watch this. This is worth listening to. Ready? Here we go. Okay, watch. Ready? All right. Summary from Bloomberg AI. Andy Chang, a 26-year-old unemployed man, has bought $60,000 worth of Taiwanese tech stocks with borrowed money, with advices of others to, quote, buy any stock and you will make money. Second, the Taiwanese market has rallied over 100% in the past year, with teenagers opening brokerage accounts with trading volumes crashing firms' websites, fueled by money borrowed at rock-bottom interest rates. Number 3, some experts, including Professor Dakran Wu, warn that the market is clearly overheated and a sudden sell-off could trigger devastating losses for young investors, while others like Chang believe the rally has substance and will continue. And so there's an excerpt that's quote tweeting Andy Chang and says, when I caught up with my Taipei-based VC friend a year ago, they were here for YC Demo Day. They basically told me this, that everyone in Taiwan was euphoric and didn't do much else except trade stocks. The job market there has been pretty bad for young people for a while, though. Unemployment for 20 to 24-year-olds has consistently been about 12% for the last decade. When I ran a university nonprofit in Taiwan before and a bit into the pandemic, over half of our graduates ended up self-employed trading crypto or something for at least a bit. I haven't kept in touch, but imagine they're on top of the current boom too, as it's difficult for someone who's used to the benefits of leveraged financialization to sit down and work that has a more tangible correlation to outcomes. LOL. I mean, I definitely saw that happen with folks in my same age cohort. Followed by, last thing is, I guess on these topics and on the South Korean topic, there is this IPO coming CXMT. It's a Chinese company, and apparently Chinese IPOs always do really well because they IPO at very low prices, is what I'm being told. And this is like the hottest memory name that's mogging everybody right now, and I think it's coming relatively soon. Some of the world's biggest personal computer makers, including HP, are in talks with supply chain partners about using CXMT memory chips in production bound for Asia. People familiar with the discussions said it's growing so much that Kal Samani is tweeting about it. And yeah, they're saying it's bigger than SpaceX. Changjin Memory Technologies, China's top DRAM maker, founded in 2016, has rocketed to the world's fourth largest supplier with an 8% global revenue share, fueled by AI-driven demand and soaring prices. The Hefei-based firm turned profitable in 2025 and eyes over $50 billion in full year 26 revenue, as its wafer capacity surges towards 350,000 per month, now advancing towards a blockbuster Shanghai Star Market IPO to raise 4.1 to 4.4 billion for expansions. It trails leaders in advanced tech, but benefits from tight global supplies expected through 2028. So I would have never even heard of this if we didn't do the stream. So that's why we do the stream. But yeah, the Taiwan thing is basically the same story that's coming out of South Korea. It's basically the same story that's coming out of crypto, coming out of US stocks, that everyone's trading stocks all of the time. And once you trade, leverage, and experience nuclear gains, it's really difficult to go back. Now, markets will crash at some point, always, and they'll boom again, and they'll crash, and people will go back. But the amount of people that can never go back to normal life after trading, I think, is exponentially going to be up and to the right. And as more and more things get automated, I think more and more people will turn to speculate on them. And I think we're going to do very good in that environment, just like we're doing very good in this environment, just like we are going to do very good in every environment that comes after the one that we're currently in, because we are basically, in my position, perfectly positioned for a world that doesn't quite exist yet, but it's very close. Like, we sort of front ran it a little bit, and we sit there now and we have to kind of wait for the rest of the world to catch up to our beliefs that everybody will trade and that retail dominates markets and that active investing is the way, and you can't just like close your eyes, pick a mag and like win. I think in many ways we are the most well positioned of any community in the world for the evolution that's coming. And part of our job is to just kind of wait for it to evolve and like continue to do what we do. I think we front run it in many ways. It's happening all across the world, in every country, in every emerging market. Everyone's coming to the same conclusions we are in every emerging market around the world. It's not a city thing. It's not an American thing. It's not a US only thing. It's a worldwide societal shift, population-wide evolution that is taking over. And god damn, are we fucking well positioned for it. So, not AI takes all jobs, then we are all traders, but everybody will be a trader. I think one of the things that I've realized from the stream is that we do a lot of like throwing out feelers, and we reference something that we don't know that much about, or we don't know if it's that important, and then we pick it back up 3 days later, or 3 weeks later, 3 months later, and the dots just start to connect. We start to connect dots through lines. We make connections in our brain. Like, I think this is one of the things that we're the best at, is we just cover everything and then we figure it out. It's important when it's important. We do a lot of sitting through boring stuff because that's what the long game requires. A long game requires you to sit here every day for 3 hours a day. 6 months ago, I never talked about a stock once in my life. Now, I feel pretty well versed in the market and what's happening in the different sectors and the different verticals and the AI stack and what's important, what the bottlenecks are and what photonics are and what HBM is. Like, I feel pretty well versed in the stack. And so if you are similar to me and you didn't know about any of this stuff 6 months ago, 3 months ago, and you do now because you come here with us every day, I would say you should probably keep coming here. And the ones that already did, I would imagine if you spent any meaningful amount of time in this stream, you'd understand that like where we think things are going and the way that we cover things and the way that we study the world is pretty evident that that's the way it should be done, or at least in the right direction. You know, at least it's pointed in the right direction. So tomorrow's a really big day. It is. I just left Walmart and see protein Doritos and protein instant mashed potatoes. Oh my God. Who's the biggest protein distributor? Protein Doritos, man. Just fucking top. Whey protein? Biggest public protein distribute. Protein Doritos are gas. It's like, bro, just eat Doritos and then eat a fucking chocolate milk. Glanbia PLC. Protein Doritos. Come on, bro. Whoa. It has 70 grams of protein in a bag. Oh, I can't read it. There you go. All right. 7 servings per container, 10 chips. 150 calories. There's like 8 grams of carbs, 10 grams of protein. A lot of sodium, a lot of fat. Wow. Dude, imagine we just like... Can you imagine if they took like... I don't know, like live animals and they put protein in those? Like what they do with Doritos. Like, you know what Doritos does with the protein? If you took like a live animal, like a chicken or something, and put Doritos protein in it. Can you imagine? Imagine, dude. Imagine.
Hey everyone, we are live from my backyard where I am smoking a brisket and some ribs. I'm making meats now, smoking these meats.
Okay. As I was saying, I love Red 40, by the way. I don't feel right without my Red 40. I hate what they've done to candy and snacks in the US. I love Red 40. Tomorrow's a very important day. It might be one of our most important streams ever. Every stream's the most important, but it's a very... What's good, Pipe Bomb? It's a very important stream. It's going to be Micron earnings. So we saw Cerebras earnings today, and not great. I mean, not horrible, but yeah, pretty horrible. Not great. Tomorrow is Micron, which is probably the hottest stock in the world right now, and it seems to be the thing that has the most exposure across everybody. So tomorrow is Micron earnings. We're going to do the normal stream. We're going to do what we do. We're going to be great at it. Near the end, whenever they go live, 4:30 or whatever, we're going to watch a little bit of earnings. I know they're boring, but they are important. And we are going to fucking body it because that's what we do, bro. That's what we do. That's what we do. We find a topic. We either know about it or we don't know about it. And we fucking learn about it. And that's what we do, man. I'm here to fucking make money. I'm here to get smart. I'm here to do what we do every single day. So tomorrow is a very important stream. If you don't come to every stream, I highly recommend you come to tomorrow's Micron earnings. Good luck. May the gods be with you, the old and the new. And I will see you on the next one. I'll catch you when I catch you. I'll see you when I see you. Live every day, 2:30 p.m. More like 2:35, 2:40 p.m. EST. I'll catch you when I catch you. I'll see you when I see you. Have a great rest of your day. Love you, motherfucker. See you in the pit. Peace, peace, peace.